Chapter 1497. The identity of the red-clothed ferryman really shocked Wang Feng for a while. So much so that when he left the Heaven Styx River, he did not recover for a while. I haven't been in the dark demon world for long, so I don't know much about the wormhole world connected to the dark demon world. When I passed through the limitless demon region, I didn't encounter any basic wormholes and stopped at the cities in the limitless demon region. I didn't expect that there would be someone familiar in the dark demon world, but after thinking about it, Wang Feng felt relieved. The dark demon world itself was strong enough, and the wormhole allowed the dark demon world to be connected to many other worlds. It was normal for these people to appear. And now, when Wang Feng saw the scene in the Soul Demon Sacred City, he was even more shocked. The Soul Demon Sacred City was so big that it was divided into 7 layers inside and outside, extending forward in an arc. Just the outermost area alone was bigger than the Dream Spirit City from before. Standing in midair, one could not see the end of the area with just one's eyes. Each layer emitted powerful origin law fluctuations, covering the ground and between the city walls. In midair in the city, there was a relatively simple floating network, which should be the city's transportation hub. Because it looked translucent, it did not bring a sense of chaos to the city. Instead, these translucent floating networks shuttled between the various major cities and countless towering mysterious buildings, like stars moving, filled with a mysterious sense of science and technology. What surprised Wang Feng even more was the countless people walking in the city. Many of the life auras were obviously not from the dark demon world. They could only be from the world outside the wormhole. Among these people, there was the kind of immortal who stepped on an immortal sword, and was said to be a sword immortal who galloped like light in the floating network. There were also knights who rode on war horses covered in black armor. They wore silver armor, and their faces couldn't be seen at all. They held crossed swords in their hands. The warhorse was still burning with black flames, and it looked very strange as it stepped on the void. In the distant sky, there was even the kind of life form of the future mecha that Wang Feng imagined, which was suspended in midair. Although, from the aura, Wang Feng did not feel that there was a super-powerful existence comparable to a demon god. But the familiar feeling brought by the scene made Wang Feng a little dazed. This was probably the first time Wang Feng had seen a corner of the civilization ruled by the dark demon realm ever since he arrived. This was the Soul Demon Sacred City, the center of the Azure Sun Demon region. That was why such a scene had occurred. Fortunately, Wang Feng had some confidence after meeting the ferryman in red. After recovering from his daze, Wang Feng pondered for a while and decided to go to the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce to take a look. Then, he went to Heaven Luo Manor in the Holy City District to meet demonic goddess Qing Luo. I've taken the Heaven Styx River. I think the Qingyang demon region should already know about it. I wonder what kind of changes it will cause, Wang Feng thought for a moment. The Heaven Styx River was not a simple place. Wang Feng didn't even need to think about it. Once this heavenly Styx River disappeared, it would cause an uproar. Therefore, he decided to go to the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce first and ask Yu Xiaoxiao and the others. With their information channels, they should be able to immediately know what kind of changes would occur after the disappearance of the Heaven Styx River. By the way, what is my purpose for coming to the Soul Demon Sacred City? Wang Feng massaged his temples. Wang Feng shook his head and pondered for a while. Forget it. I'll go to the Treasure-Gathering Rock Trade Association to ask about the situation first. Then, I'll reveal my demon god identity and go to the Heavenly Luo Manor. After making up his mind, Wang Feng descended from the sky. The moment he entered the city, a cold consciousness swept over his body. It should be the special laws set up on the city walls and the ground, as well as the Godslayer terminal of the Soul Demon Sacred City. The cold voice resounded in his mind. Identity verification detected Godslayer. Life rhythm confirmed, human race. Please release the Godslayer authority and connect with the terminal for identity verification. Otherwise, you will not be allowed to enter the Soul Demon Sacred City. Anyone who resists will be killed without mercy." The cold voice clearly came from the Godslayer terminal of the Soul Demon Sacred City. The Godslayer terminal of this city, and the one in Dream Spirit City, were on a completely different level. The Godslayer terminal of this sacred city often represents the Godslayer terminal of the entire demon region. The authority and cost are so high that only the demon gods can afford it. The moment one enters the city, it will be detected. Wang Feng thought for a moment. The Godslayer terminal basically represented the demon gods. It could be said that the entry and exit of any life form in the city, even if the demon gods didn't use any spiritual perception, they would know it clearly. In other words, anything that happened in this city, even if the demon gods were in another demon region, they would know it clearly. The Godslayer terminal of the demon region not only represented a powerful symbol of force, but also a symbol of the heavenly axiom of the world. To a certain extent, the Godslayer terminal was the heavenly axiom created by the demon god. After all, it was used to manage and control everything in the city, and also most of the life forms in the demon region. Initiating Godslayer authentication. Wang Feng hesitated for a second, and then directly connected with the Godslayer terminal of this city. Since he was here to find the demon god Qingluo, there was no need to hide his identity. However, as for the Tianming River, Wang Feng didn't believe that other than the ferryman, anyone else would know that the Tianming River was related to him. Godslayer connection successful identity verification. After a while, the voice of the Godslayer terminal was silent for a few seconds. Wang Feng's Godslayer wasn't strong, but his Godslayer had already been verified. "You are the demon god Dai?" The Godslayer terminal finally spoke with a surprised and doubtful human-like voice. Wang Feng suspected that this voice should be a soul demon taking over the Godslayer terminal's artificial intelligence. In fact, it was the sacred city, the control room of the Godslayer terminal. Black Nightmare, one of the 10 royals, looked at the information presented in front of him in shock. The Godslayer terminal was usually only controlled by the demon gods. But under normal circumstances, the Godslayer terminal operated automatically. And its structure was extremely complex, and it was a large spiritual body. In the center of the control room, a cloud of light with various forms was the artificial intelligence represented by the Godslayer terminal. It was different from those Godslayer artificial intelligences that only had algebraic divisions. Those could only be regarded as an artificial intelligence formed by a program and command. It wasn't a real life form, but the artificial intelligence produced by the Godslayer terminal was a spiritual body with real intelligence and life. It had a processing and analysis ability that was at least 1,000,000 times more than a normal 4th-generation Godslayer, as well as intelligence and structure. It should be noted that the Godslayer terminal itself covered the entire Soul Demon Sacred City. Whether it was the city walls or the ground, it was covered with the dark energy circuit formed by the Godslayer terminal, so that it could unfold the relationship of the entire Soul Demon Sacred City from reality. The spiritual body of the terminal could easily process the energy circuit of the entire city, and detect every movement of the entire city. At the same time, the spiritual body also had super strong spiritual power and could sense every movement outside the city, receive all kinds of spiritual signals, Godslayer waves, and so on. Chapter 1498. According to the identity verification of the Godslayer, the other party has already verified the identity of demon god Dai. The cloud-like spirit body replied in a lazy voice. It's just that recently, the flow of life in the Soul Demon Sacred City has been extremely large, and the number of Godslayers has increased greatly. I have already received the Godslayer identity authentication of nearly 10 Dai demon god. 5 of them are foreign soul demons from other demon territories, 3 of them are demon god Dai's fanatics, and 2 of them, one of them is already in Douluo Prefecture, and the other is a life form from wormhole number 71. Nonsense, of course I know. Black Nightmare frowned. What I mean is this demon god Dai real or fake? The other party's Godslayer level is too low, and according to the information given by Master, Demon God Dai has a level of Godslayer, which matches the other party. Other than this, the other party has too little information about Godslayer, so it's impossible to make a real judgment, unless he directly reveals his demon god true body and releases his origin aura. The cloud-like spirit replied weakly, I say, Black Nightmare, I've been working for 7 days straight, working overtime every day. It's already past my normal working hours, I should rest. Although I'm a spirit, I still need to rest. That won't do, Tianming River disappeared, and Demon God Dai's whereabouts are unknown. If you rest now, what will happen to the safety of the Soul Demon Sacred City? Sigh, although Tianming River disappeared, according to my calculations and analysis, the other demon gods won't make a move for at least 7 days. Even if there's a movement, it will definitely be after 7 days because Master is holding a banquet at that time, and the entire Soul Demon Sacred City will celebrate. If I'm a demon god from other demon territories, I'll definitely make a move at that time. The cloud-like spirit said impatiently, there's no use in being so heavily guarded now. Black Nightmare thought about it and felt that it made sense. Then what about this demon god Dai? Think about it, if demon god Dai doesn't want us to know that he's in the Soul Demon Sacred City and hides, then even if this spirit overclocked the scan, we won't be able to detect anything. If demon god Dai wants us to know that he's here, the demon god's presence will definitely be huge. There's no need for us to scan at all. Hiss. That makes sense. The more Black Nightmare thought about it, the more it made sense. Think about it again, with Demon God Dai and Master's old relationship. He must have come here to reminisce about old times with his lord. Normally, they wouldn't let us know. Think about it, when you're having a tryst with your lover, would you be embarrassed to let others know? I'm not sure about that. I don't have a lover, said Black Nightmare. However, what you said makes a lot of sense. That's right. Maybe the real Dai demon god is already in Douluo Prefecture with the Lord. You, a member of the 10 Reigns, are only here to be informed of the situation in the Soul Demon Sacred City as soon as possible and to filter and report important information. Don't worry about the demon god. The mission that Master gave you didn't ask you, a demon master, to wait here for demon god Dai to appear, right? The cloud-like spiritual body analyzed seriously. Hating nodded. He thought for a moment and said, then go back to demon god Dai and let him do as he pleases. It's probably fake too. Black Nightmare shook his head and muttered to himself. As you wish? Wang Feng was taken aback. What did it mean? Knowing that I'm Dai demon god, you want me to do whatever I want? Wasn't Qing Luo the one who invited me here? Isn't that too disrespectful? After all, I've come to the Soul Demon Sacred City. I've already reported my identity. Why isn't there a welcoming team? Wang Feng felt that Qing Luo was really hard to fathom. It was the same in the Infinite Demon Zone. Just because he couldn't say her name, the 10 Reigns had attracted demon god Wu Jiang to test him. Now that he had shown himself in the Soul Demon Sacred City, she wanted him to do whatever he wanted? Wang Feng naturally thought that Qing Luo was the one who answered the Godslayer terminal. Back then, Qing Luo was the ultimate bootlicker of demon god Dai, an old lover. Ahem, although it's not appropriate to say that, it's the truth. Wang Fengxin thought to himself. Did she have a change of heart? Speaking of which, before demon god Dai left the dark demon world, what did he leave behind for Qing Luo? Wang Feng vaguely remembered that he had come to Douluo Prefecture because of something that demon god Dai had left behind for Qing Luo. This information was passed on by Qi Yan on behalf of Qing Luo when he met the Ten Rains. Wang Feng directly found the location of the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce in the Soul Demon Sacred City. The advantage of connecting with the God-Slayer terminal was that he could clearly know the general distribution of the Soul Demon Sacred City. It was equivalent to having a large map of the city. The treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce in the Soul Demon Sacred City was obviously several times larger than the one in the Dream Spirit City. Moreover, even the buildings were very majestic. Since he was allowed to do whatever he wanted, Wang Feng didn't transform into demon god Dai's appearance. Instead, he transformed into his doppelganger's original appearance. There were only a few soul demons who could recognize his doppelganger. Unfortunately, as soon as he entered the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce, Wang Feng met a few familiar figures. "You dream spirit demons are really annoying. I've already told you. We don't have Ji-lan grass here. Why don't you take a look at what kind of branch we are? How can we sell such cheap low-grade demon herbs? Your dream spirit demon clan offended Tian Luo Prefecture. What does that have to do with the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce? Even if you beg me, it's useless." The treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce's lobby was very large. As soon as Wang Feng entered, not only did he sense a few familiar figures, but he also heard a commotion from afar. Wang Fengxin's heart skipped a beat. Dream spirit demons from the Dream Spirit City? He saw the Grand Elder of the Dream Spirit City. In addition to the Grand Elder, there were a few dream spirit demons beside him. Wang Feng also saw the two cute lowly siblings, Meng Shan and Meng Lan. "Right, I remember when I left the Dream Spirit City. Didn't they send the Dream Spirit demons to the Sky Demon Mountain Range to search for Ji-lan grass? Did they fail?" When he thought of the Dream Spirit demons and Ji-lan grass, Wang Feng suddenly thought of the chef Shrek. Demonic god Qing Luo recruited a chef by the name of Shrek, who is well versed in the culinary culture of the god realm. This Shrek is most likely one of those gods from the god realm who escape. Furthermore, the name Shrek is somewhat special, but then again, if it was one of those escaped gods, with demon god Qing Luo's strength, it's impossible that she didn't notice something strange. Wang Feng vaguely thought of something, but he still couldn't recall it. He remembered clearly that Shrek had spent a long time in the Douluo world studying at the Shrek Academy. And Shrek's 7 monsters, he had formed a deep friendship Oscar, Dai Mubai, Tang San, Ma Hongjun, Xiao Wu. Who else is there? Wang Feng's head spasmed, and he felt as if his mind was split. Why don't I go and meet this Shrek first? Wang Fengxin's heart skipped a beat. Demon god Qing Luo was so casual and didn't care about demon god Di. Then there was no need for him to rush to Tian Luo Prefecture. But Wang Feng was very interested in this Shrek. Thinking of this, Wang Feng looked at the Dream Spirit City's elder and slowly walked over. Chapter 1499. When Wang Feng walked over, the elder of Dream Spirit City was about to leave dejectedly. But when he turned around, he saw a familiar figure. He was stunned for a moment. "It's you." He was stunned for a long time, looking at Wang Feng. He vaguely remembered that this human expert who was closely related to demon god Dai had appeared in Dream Spirit City, and then mysteriously went to Sky Demon Mountain Range's Red Hill. Then there was no news. His appearance here meant that demon god Dai had come to Soul Demon Sacred City. This meant that demon god Qing Luo was likely to hold a banquet in advance. His heart sank, but they could not take out the season orchid now. "Why are you at treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce?" Wang Feng asked calmly. "Didn't you find the season orchid for the mission that night?" It was strange, if these dream spirit demons did not find the season orchid, what was the point of coming to Soul Demon Sacred City? They even came to treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce to search. Dream Spirit City also had a treasure-gathering rock branch. They did not do anything unnecessary. Wang Fengxin was slightly puzzled. The elder heard this, sighed and said, "We found it, but we lost more than 10 dream spirit demons, but there was an accident on the way here." Robbed? Or lost again? Wang Feng was surprised. These dream spirit demons were really unlucky. That's not it. The elder shook his head. It's Heaven Styx River. Meng Lan pouted, glancing at Wang Feng, as if she felt that this person was different from the one she saw before. What does it have to do with Heaven Styx River? Could it be? Wang Feng thought for a moment, as if thinking of something. When we crossed Heaven Styx River, we were about to reach the shore. Who knew that the river would suddenly change? Meng Shan spread out her hands. The river was turbulent. Even the ferryman who was ferrying us did not react in time. We were almost thrown into the turbulent river. Luckily, the ferryman stabilized the boat in time, barely managing to cross the river. But then he found that several devil essence rings containing the season orchid had fallen into Heaven Styx River. At this point, Meng Shan and the dream spirit demons complained angrily. "You guys, what's there to complain about? When the Styx River disappeared that day, you were still able to safely cross the river and keep your life. That's already heaven-defying luck." The treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce service devil cultivator, who was annoyed by Elder Meng Hunyao, sneered. "Although very few people cross the Heaven Styx River, the length is there. There will always be some brave people who want to try the Heaven Styx River." Every day when the Nether River disappeared, a group of soul demons and soul demons were unfortunately buried in it. The dream spirit demons fell silent when they heard this. Wang Fengxin said, "After all this time, it turned out that this matter had something to do with him? This Meng Hunyao seems to be fated with me." Wang Feng pondered for a moment and said, "The treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce here doesn't have season orchids?" The service devil glanced at Wang Feng and said politely, "That's impossible. A fiendish herb like the season orchid had very little effect and only grew in the Sky Demon Mountain range. That place was dangerous, and even ordinary soul demons would go there. The resources in that area were very scarce. The lowest grade goods in the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce are fiendish herbs of at least grade. The treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce doesn't collect fiendish herbs that belong to the mortal world. Otherwise, Sky Luo Prefecture wouldn't have given the task to the Dream Spirit clan in the Sky Demon Mountain range. We would have collected them long ago." Then, the devil continued, "Not to mention the season orchids, the goods in the Soul Demon Sacred City are sold to many worlds. Sky Luo Prefecture needs cumin made from season orchids and many other raw materials. Sky Luo Prefecture ordered us to collect them long ago. Therefore, even if we had them, we would have given them to Sky Luo Prefecture long ago. It's your own business that the Dream Spirit Demon Clan didn't complete the task. It's useless to look for the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce now." "Oh?" Wang Feng suddenly asked. "In other words, the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce has items from other worlds?" "Of course," the devil said proudly. "Our treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce is not only spread throughout the Dark Demon Realm, but also in all the planes that the Dark Demon Realm rules, as well as the planes that it has yet to rule and established a certain relationship with. Our treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce is present. Naturally, we have items from other realms. Not only do we trade with the native soul demons of the Dark Demon Realm, but we also trade with other races in other realms." Wang Fengxin's heart skipped a beat. He hadn't understood the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce in detail before. Now that he heard it, it seemed a little interesting. "What do you need? Tell me." The devil was very good at business. He didn't care about Wang Feng's identity and asked directly. "If you have it, the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce will definitely be able to provide it. If you don't, you won't be able to find it even if you turn the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce upside down." Wang Feng smiled and shook his head. If he needed anything, he could just find you Xiao Xiao and the others. "When will you report back?" Wang Feng looked at the Dream Spirit Demon Elder. Tomorrow at the latest. If we don't give the season orchids to Chef Shrek by tomorrow, Sky Luo Prefecture will determine that the Dream Spirit Demon clan didn't complete the task. The elder sighed. Looking at the situation now, we definitely won't be able to complete it. Wang Feng thought for a while and said, Old man, since you know my identity, I can help you with this matter. How about this, you can go back to Dream Spirit City tomorrow, I'll help you hand over the season orchids. You're willing to help us? The elder was stunned at first, then said excitedly. Just casually. Wang Feng said. But where will you get the season orchids? The elder smiled bitterly. You don't have to worry about that. Besides, even if you can't take it out, with my identity, it's easy to protect you. Wang Feng waved his hand. What's the way you hand it over to that chef? The elder hesitated for a while, then took out a token and gave it to Wang Feng. This is the token of my Dream Spirit Demon clan. You just need to hand it over to Chef Shrek. Wang Feng took the token and nodded. Got it, you can go. I'll protect your Dream Spirit Demon clan. Then, Wang Feng walked towards the highest floor of the building. Encountering these Dream Spirit Demons was something unexpected. However, it was also a good opportunity for him to meet the chef from Shrek. He wanted to see what was going on. Of course, he couldn't use the identity of Demon God Dai. That would easily alert the other party. It wasn't good to use the identity of a clone because he couldn't confirm the other party's identity. But as long as he tested, it should be easy to find out. He walked to the highest floor and revealed his identity, letting the person in charge of the treasure-gathering Rock Chamber of Commerce directly contact Yu Xiaoxiao. Then, he asked about the Heaven Styx River. End of chapter. Chapter 1500. My heavens, Venerable One, you've finally appeared. Oh right, have you arrived at the Soul Demon Sacred City? Why is there no news at all? Did you sneak into the Soul Demon Sacred City? It can't be, right? You want to ask about the Heavenly Styx River. Yu Xiaoxiao's slightly illusory figure circled around Wang Feng. She scanned him up and down as if she was examining something. Oh right. Venerable One, how did you come to the Soul Demon Sacred City? Did you cross the Heavenly Styx River? Yu Xiaoxiao suddenly asked. Nonsense. If I didn't cross the Heavenly Styx River, why would I ask about this? Wang Feng knew Yu Xiaoxiao was testing him, so he said calmly. That's true. Yu Xiaoxiao nodded. Something big has happened recently. Yu Xiaoxiao did not hide anything and told him about the commotion caused by the Heavenly Styx River. Sorry, there were at least 3 other demon realms. For example, the Black Demon Guards of the Chaos Demon Realm and the 12 Demon Lords of the Night Demon Realm. They all represented the existence of the demon god. Once they made a move, it meant the demon gods would make a move. Oh right, I heard that several demon gods with your identity have gone to the Soul Demon Sacred City. Yu Xiaoxiao suddenly covered her mouth and laughed. I heard that one of them was directly invited into the Heaven Luo Manor. Impersonating the Venerable One. Wang Feng was stunned. He suddenly thought of the message from the Godslayer terminal. No wonder. They probably thought that the demon god was a fake. Alright, he was indeed a fake. However, the identity of the demon god in the Dark Demon Realm was real. Should be. Since he was invited into the Heaven Luo Manor, it means that one of the fake demon gods is very similar. Yu Xiaoxiao chuckled. Wang Feng sneered and did not take it seriously. Oh right, Venerable One. Since you've crossed the Heavenly Styx River, do you know what happened there? Yuren Xian suddenly asked. I know a little, Wang Feng said. Hearing this, the siblings immediately became interested. What happened to the Heavenly Styx River? A huge and mysterious Heavenly Styx River disappeared just like that. Not even the demon gods can do that. Yu Xiaoxiao asked excitedly. Speaking of which, that day Wang Feng glanced at the two of them and slowly said, I set off from Dream Spirit City to Soul Demon Sacred City and came across this heavenly underworld river. I felt a little nostalgic, thinking that I had once crossed this place before. Now that things have changed, I'm here again to try to cross it with my physical body. It's a pity that the Heavenly Styx River is simply too powerful, and the wishes of the living beings in the river are unable to bear it. Fortunately, when I was about a third of the way across, I met a ferryman, so I boarded the boat and planned to cross the river. Unexpectedly, right at this moment, a lofty figure rose up from extremely far away. That figure emanated the aura of several quintessence, and his entire body was covered in powerful markings of laws. He emanated a strand of peerless divine might. The human figure raised his hand as if he was trying to capture the world. A terrifying whirlpool that was like a black hole was created. His voice was low and steady, and he let out a great sound. All the water in the underworld river seemed to have heard a good command and surged towards the terrifying whirlpool that extended from the human figure's palm. In an instant, the heavens and earth changed. Countless ghosts and devils in the nether river groveled and wailed. The nether river, which seemed to have stopped time, immediately became turbulent. At this moment, even I could only protect myself from being hit by the nether river. At this point, Wang Feng pretended to sigh. After that, when I regained my consciousness, the nether river had already disappeared. That mysterious human figure had also disappeared. Now that I think about it, that human figure's strength is unfathomable. I wonder which true god he is. Yu Xiaoxiao and Yu Ren Xian listened to him in a daze. After listening to him, they were shocked. The Heavenly Styx River was taken away by someone? The two of them sucked in a breath of cold air. This piece of news was too shocking. In fact, the huge Heavenly Styx River seemed to have disappeared overnight. It couldn't be judged with common sense. If it was an ordinary river, not to mention a demon god, even demon masters and demon monarchs could be taken away. But the Heavenly Styx River wasn't an ordinary river. This is too shocking. Yu Xiaoxiao's face turned pale. When did our dark devil world have such a demon god? Impossible. As far as I know, even Yama Lord, who can cross the Heavenly Styx River with his physical body, can't take away the Heavenly Styx River with just one hand. What kind of existence is this? She had some doubts in her heart. Was there such an awesome existence in the dark devil world? She had been in charge of the treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce for many years. She was very familiar with the 9 great devil regions of the dark devil world. But she had never heard of such a level of existence. "There's always someone better than you," Wang Feng said casually. "I heard that my good friend entered the Red Hill region and encountered a crimson deity Sky Fox. He didn't belong to the dark devil world, but his strength surpassed a demon god. Presumably, the expert who took away the Heavenly Styx River with just one hand might also be in existence surpassing a demon god." "Should be." Yu Xiaoxiao nodded. They naturally knew about the ancient legend of the Red Hill region. Seeing that the two of them believed him, Wang Fengxin said, "There had to be a source of information about the Heavenly Styx River." Naturally, Wang Feng wanted to spread the news to the two of them. Because of the disappearance of the Heavenly Styx River, the Azure Sun Devil region might be in great turmoil. This wasn't something Wang Feng wanted to see. After all, those gods who escaped should still be in the Azure Sun Devil region. Once the Azure Sun Devil region was in turmoil, they might be in even more danger. And with the appearance of such a mysterious expert, the 4 devil regions would definitely be wary. After talking with Yu Xiaoxiao and the others, the next day, Wang Feng arrived at the Vice House of Sky Luo Manor on time. He took the token from the old man from Dream Soul City and headed to the Vice House to find the Shrek Chef. The Vice House of Sky Luo Manor made Wang Feng feel as if he had returned to the God world. The architectural styles of the God world and the Dark Devil world, the various materials and colors, and the basic vegetation covering were all very different. The Douluo God world was brighter, be it the God world's king city or other regions. The god world's king city, in particular, had a pure, majestic, and fantastical architectural style. The dark devil world was divided into 9 demon regions, and the styles of each demon region were slightly different. Regardless, they were all filled with the dark and gloomy style of magical machines. That was because it was different from the more traditional and ancient development path of the god world. Wang Feng had a deep influence on the vice house of Sky Luo Manor. It should have been designed based on the architecture of the god world's king city. There were guards in the vice house, and they were all high-rank soul demons. Even an ordinary guard was a high-rank soul demon. Regardless of strength, they were only third-grade gods in the god world. I heard that something happened to Tian Mingi. Demon Lord White Nightmare of my manor thought that you wouldn't be able to complete the mission. I didn't expect you to be able to deliver the season orchid. That chef shouldn't have to worry about it now. The guard of the vice house glanced at Wang Feng and warned, after entering the vice house, remember not to touch a single blade of grass or tree in the manor. Otherwise, you might lose your life when demon god Qingluo blames you. Of course, Wang Feng said casually. Then, he followed the soul demon guard and walked into the vice house. A familiar fragrance suddenly rushed into Wang Feng's nose. This is the smell of barbecue, very familiar, Wang Feng sniffed. This smell was very familiar. But it was also a little strange, because there was a special smell in it. Could it be that Shrek is one of those escaped gods, and it's Oscar's group? Oscar is the god of cookery in the god world. This fragrance not only contains powerful energy but also special divine power. There shouldn't be such a chef in the dark devil world, right? At this moment, the guard's voice interrupted Wang Feng's thoughts. In front is Chef Shrek's personal place. Go in and deliver the season orchid to him. Then, your dream soul demon's mission will be completed. Wait for the demon god's reward. The guard didn't say much and pointed to the front. Wang Feng focused his gaze. He didn't see any familiar figures in front of him. He only saw a few soul demons of different sizes. They were holding a special score and seemed to be studying something. End of chapter. Chapter 1501. Wang Feng watched for a while. It's a soul demon. There's no aura of a god at all, Wang Fengxin thought. That's Chef Shrek. The guard pointed to a soul demon in front of him. The rich aroma came from the soul demons in front of him, who were cooking in the courtyard. As for the Shrek chef that the guard was pointing at, a huge flame appeared in his hand, and he began to cook the ingredients in the air. The other soul demons, on the other hand, were holding what looked like a stone cookbook and communicating with the chef. They looked like assistants. Could they be Oscar's group? Wang Fengxin thought. They didn't look like them at all, and there were not many traces of them. Only the aroma of the cooking food was somewhat familiar to Wang Feng. But that didn't mean anything. After thinking for a while, Wang Feng walked over. Second brother, it seems that Dream Hun Yao and the others are here to deliver the ingredients. One of the soul demons, who was fat and 3 meters tall, shouted. It's okay. My dish is almost done. The soul demon called second brother, who was also the Shrek the guard mentioned, was of medium build. He smiled, and the fire in his palm suddenly disappeared. Then, the ingredients in the fire suddenly burst out with a violent golden light. Come! A female soul demon next to second brother took out a black and gold plate. Then, the golden light finally fell on the plate. As the light dissipated, an appetizing aroma floated out. It was a plate of egg-fried rice. Every meter was crystal clear and had a faint blood gold color. It looked extremely extraordinary. Wang Feng. Come and try it. This is specially made with the golden jade blood rice of the dark demon realm and the eggs of the black flame demon bird, supplemented by the divine flame of the god realm and the cooking procedures. I think it should be enough to serve as a side dish for this banquet. Second brother said excitedly. By the way, the Geelong grass is here, right? Without it, many baked products can't bring out the fragrance they should. The baked products of the god realm have always been the best. After that, second brother turned to look at Wang Feng. The other soul demons were also looking at the plate of fried rice with great interest. The plump soul demon could not help but take a bite with a look of enjoyment on his face. "You're the dream spirit demon?" It was said that something had happened at the Heaven Styx River. Recently, the holy city had been in an uproar. If your dream spirit city wants to come to the holy city, you have to pass through the Tianming River. Yesterday, Douluo Manor's housekeeper, White Nightmare, came here to tell us to be mentally prepared. He said that your tribe won't be able to deliver the season orchid grass. We are very worried. Second brother glanced at Wang Feng. It was daytime now. The dream Hun demon in front of him was like a ghost. It looked very similar to a human, but it was actually a dream Hun demon. Wang Feng nodded without batting an eyelid. That's right. Fortunately, we managed to cross it in time. Are you Chef Shrek? Of course. Second brother nodded proudly. What is a Shrek? Your name is really strange. Wang Feng pretended not to know. Ha ha. I don't know what you think. Second brother smiled and said, Shrek is a monster from the westernmost part of the dark demon world. It's a very weak, but very tenacious little monster. I heard that this monster will die with a touch, but it can enter a spatial crack and return safely and accurately. So it's very rare. I was once brought back to the dark demon world from a spatial crack by this little monster, so I named it Shrek. Oh, this was the first time Wang Feng heard of this story. It had nothing to do with the soul world, although it had the same name. But in this world, there were many monsters with the same name. It seems that they are really not Oscar's group. If it's really them, why would they come to Douluo Manor? Aren't they walking right into a trap? Wang Fengxin thought. Search. Although the most dangerous place was the safest place. But that also depended on the situation. Douluo Manor belonged to the demon god. If they came here, with the god aura on them, no matter how well they hid, they could not hide from the demon god. Thinking of this, Wang Fengxin sighed. This is the devil essence ring. There are the G orchids we collected inside. Wang Feng handed over the devil essence ring and said directly. There was really G orchids inside. As for how it came, it was very simple. The treasure-gathering rock chamber of commerce did not have it. Wang Feng directly used the elemental origin to transform it. That's right. The elemental origin could really transform into any substance. But Wang Feng needed to understand the composition of the G orchids. This was very simple for Wang Feng. So last night, he directly used his god power and then used the elemental origin to create a large batch of G orchid. There was very little difference between it and the real G orchids, because these G orchids were almost exactly the same when made with the elemental origin. Oh! Chef Shrek took the devil essence tribulation and gently rubbed it. Stalks of G orchids emerged from inside. Excellent quality. He took a few glances. Chef seems very satisfied. Seeing Wang Feng hand in the mission, the guard immediately said to Wang Feng, Then you can leave now. Go back to Dream Soul City and wait for your reward. Wang Feng glanced at the soul demons. There were 6 of them. None of them exuded the aura of a god. Not even a trace of it was revealed. Forget it. I'll just take it as a wasted trip. Wang Feng shook his head and was about to leave. At this moment, a female soul demon suddenly walked in from outside. As soon as she reached the door, she said, Fatty, demon god Qingluo is about to bring demon god Dai here. Let's try it first. You guys prepare a few dishes immediately. Treat it as a tasting. I don't know if it suits demon god Dai's appetite. As she spoke, she walked to the front of second brother and the others. Seeing Wang Feng's unfamiliar face, she seemed a little surprised. Then, when she saw the ghostly figure, she immediately understood that it was the dream soul demon. It seems that the G orchids you need have also arrived. Just in time. Show me what you're best at. She had just walked to Wang Feng's side. Wang Feng's figure suddenly froze. He turned his head and glanced at the female soul demon. This feeling, it seems to be the riddle of the word Qian. Wang Fengxin's heart skipped a beat. He had already comprehended the riddle of the word Qian. Why was his soul throbbing so abruptly and strongly at this time? At the same time, the soul demon also subconsciously glanced at Wang Feng. She seemed to have noticed something strange. What? Coming at this time? The chef Shrek said in surprise. A tasting? Does demon god Dai miss the food of the god realm so much? Didn't he say that the banquet will start in a few days? In that case, prepare a few dishes. I happen to have orchids here. Make some barbecue of the god realm. It should be good, but the ingredients are different. I hope demon god Dai's taste is not too picky. Wang Feng suppressed the throbbing in his heart. Wait, demon god Dai. Chapter 1502. Accompanying Fiend Celestial Qing Luo. In that case, even Fiend Celestial Qing Luo couldn't tell. Many questions popped up in Wang Feng's mind. Who was so powerful as to impersonate Fiend Celestial Dai? The Fiend Celestial had yet to see through him. That was not simple. By the way, this female soul fiend is a little odd. Wang Feng decided to stay behind to see what was going on. Why aren't you leaving? Urged the guard. This isn't a place where a mere dream soul demon like you can stay for long. Wait, I remember now. If you want to process this season orchid into a raw material, you need to go through a special procedure to wash away the dark fiend aura on it. Otherwise, the raw material produced will greatly affect the food, said Wang Feng suddenly. Chef Shrek, you know that season orchid can be processed into cumin. Do you know how season orchid can wash away the dark fiend aura? If you don't know the technique, it might take up a lot of your time. There's such a thing about season orchid? Chef Shrek was taken aback, as though this was the first time he had heard of it. Of course, said Wang Feng. We dream soul demons live in the Sky Demon mountain range all year round. We know the various fiendish herbs in the Sky Demon mountain range like the back of our hands. We occasionally consume season orchid, so we naturally know about it. I can quickly process the season orchid into the cumin you want. Chef Shrek hesitated for a moment. He first glanced at the guard before looking at the female soul fiend, as though he was waiting for her opinion. Guard, since he knows, why don't we get him to help us? It just so happens that we lack manpower. In a while, Fiend Celestial Dai and Fiend Celestial Qing Luo will be here. If we don't produce a few delicacies in time, Fiend Celestial Qing Luo will be displeased. She will definitely blame us, said the female soul fiend after some thought. In that case, stay behind for now. If you can help, I'll tell Fiend Lord White Nightmare that you have contributed. Also, hurry up. I've also received the news. It will take at most 2 hours. The 2 Fiend Celestials will arrive first. The guard found it reasonable. With that said, he hurriedly walked out. Give me the Fiend Essence Ring. Give me some time. I can process the season orchid into cumin. Wang Feng put away the Fiend Essence Ring. This method is method. I only need to do it alone. Of course it's good if you can do it independently. We can also free up our hands to do other things. Chef Shrek was very considerate. Wang Feng swept his gaze over the group again. Then, he picked up the demonic essence ring and walked to the side. He secretly used the elemental origin to directly turn these seasonal grasses into cumin. They were all very low-grade materials, and there was almost no difficulty. On the other side, Zhu Qing, what's going on? Why did you leave the dream soul demon behind? As soon as Wang Feng walked to the side, the soul demons immediately communicated with each other telepathically. The fewer soul demons around us, the better. If we're exposed, we'll immediately be in an extremely dangerous situation. I know. The female soul demon's psyche whispered, but this dream soul demon is very strange. Do you know the cultivation method that Wang Feng gave me? It was a cultivation technique called the front word riddle. The conditions to cultivate this cultivation technique were very harsh, but after cultivating it, one's soul would become extremely powerful, and one would even be able to sense the future. At the same time, those who had cultivated would often have a strange and subtle feeling. As long as I'm not too far away from Rongrong in the God realm, I'll be able to sense each other's premonition. But just now, I actually had such a strong premonition with that dream soul demon. When the other soul demons heard this explanation, they were immediately stunned. Seventh sister, as far as I know, it seems that only a few of you have successfully cultivated this cultivation technique, right? The fatter soul demon was extremely surprised. You mean, this dream soul demon might also be a god in disguise? Impossible, right? We can't sense it at all. Even if it is, who could it be? Chef Shrek replied telepathically. Could it be Brother Feng in the dark demon realm right now? His words immediately ignited everyone else's passion. Impossible. Isn't Brother Feng traveling with demon god Dai? How could he become a dream soul demon? Although Brother Feng has already come to the dark devil world, he clearly revealed his identity. Clearly, he wanted us to know that he came to the dark devil world. How could it be a dream soul demon? Zhu Zhuqing fell silent. She looked at the dream soul demon in the corner of the courtyard, whose back was facing them, and frowned slightly. Could it be Bibidon? Chef Shrek guessed again. Could it be Hulaina? She came to the dark demon realm a long time ago, and there's been no news of her until now. I don't know, so I want to test it later. Zhu Zhuqing thought for a moment. How? There are many ways. You'll know when you try. Zhu Zhuqing pondered for a few seconds. You guys go first. Demon gods don't reveal any flaws. An hour later, Wang Feng quietly turned all the seasoned grasses in the devil essence ring into raw materials. Next, we just need to wait for demon god Dai to come. I want to see what kind of demon it is, Wang Fengxin thought to himself. He walked over and handed the devil essence ring to Chef Shrek. Take a look and see if it's the kind of cumin you need. Chef Shrek took the devil essence ring, took out a small part, sniffed it lightly, and said in surprise, "It smells very good. It's not ordinary. I didn't expect your dream soul demon clan to know about cumin and know how to make it." Wang Feng nodded and said casually, "There's still some time. If Chef doesn't mind, I'll secretly learn a little here. My clan isn't good at eating, and the food is extremely simple. Actually, I stayed because I wanted to learn a thing or two and then spread it back to my clan. That depends on whether you have the talent or not. Learn as much as you want," Chef Shrek said indifferently. There was nothing suspicious about the other party's motive, Oscar thought. Of course, Wang Feng didn't want to learn. He was just looking for an excuse. Then, Wang Feng began to read it seriously. The other party's cooking methods were naturally different from the mortal world. But in essence, it still needed fire and various raw materials, but there was no need to use external items to cook in the void. A dish was ready. Speaking of which, if Oscar also cooks like this, would he be used to it? Logically speaking, the god of cookery in the divine realm also needs to use basic pots and skars. It's probably a kind of semi-divine artifact. Unfortunately, Wang Feng didn't see Chef Shrek use any utensils. At this time, Wang Feng happened to see that the chef's last dish was about to be completed. Suddenly, he said to the female soul demon next to him, "Seventh sister, now is the time to put that flour on the cloud crab meat." The soul demon called Seventh sister nodded and took out a medicinal herb. This herb was the size of a palm, exuding a refreshing smell, and the thumb-sized petals were slightly messy. The stamen in the center was crescent-shaped, with a faint golden color, and a noble and elegant aura rushed out. Wang Feng felt that this flower was a little familiar, but he couldn't remember it. He stared blankly at it, but there was no fluctuation in his eyes. Zhu Zhuqing glanced at it and said telepathically, "There's no fluctuation in his eyes. Not even the slightest emotion. He doesn't recognize this flower at all. He shouldn't be someone we're familiar with. If it's Brother Feng, it's impossible for him not to recognize this crescent violet flower when he sees it. No matter how well he pretends, he will definitely show some behavior. This is what Brother Feng gave you, Zhuqing. It's a token of love. Cough cough. I guess there's something wrong with your cultivation method, Zhuqing." Ma Hongjun replied telepathically. Zhu Zhuqing sighed softly and nodded slightly. "Perhaps." Zhu Zhuqing threw the flower into the scorching divine flame. In just a moment, a delicious dish was presented. Several soul demons placed the prepared delicacies on the dining table in the middle of the courtyard, which had the style of the divine realm. Wang Feng kept silent. A moment later, two figures slowly stepped into the courtyard. At the same time, Wang Fengxin's heart skipped a beat. Another familiar premonition spread from his heart. Chapter 1503. It was the same feeling again. Wang Fengxin was shocked. Who was it this time? Wang Feng stood in a corner of the courtyard and looked into the distance. Soon, two figures appeared in his sight. "Dai, are you familiar with this place?" A clear voice with a cold texture came from not far away. The first thing he saw was a woman who looked like a human. She was wearing a floor-length dress in the style of the God realm. Her long hair was like a waterfall, and she wore a silver jade hairpin. Her facial features were picturesque, and her figure was graceful. From afar, she looked like a faint moon in autumn, and from close up, she looked like a shining star. Not only was her temperament unique, but her aura was also very strong. At first glance, Wang Feng knew that she was most likely demon god Qing Luo. However, demon gods were not humans, and this body was probably not demon god Qing Luo's true form. Although there were demons in the dark demon realm, demon god Qing Luo was a true soul demon. Demon god Qing Luo wants to appear in a human body. Her clothes and hairstyle are all popular in the god realm. Wang Fengxin pondered. Could it be for demon god Dai? Dai was originally a god of the god realm and had stayed there for countless years. If not for finding a way to break through and become a god king, he would not have fallen into the dark demon realm. To be precise, he did not fall in. Demon god Qing Luo did this for demon god Dai. After thinking for a few seconds, Wang Feng's gaze fell on demon god Dai. He was stunned by what he saw. Who is this? Demon god Dai? The demon god Dai that appeared in front of Wang Feng was as burly as a soul demon, but his face was human. Because demon god Dai had cultivated in the dark demon realm for countless years, the divine power in his body had turned into demon god power formed by the dark demon qi, so his body could not be in the god realm. Wang Feng naturally knew this. Wang Feng remembered demon god Dai's true appearance. However, Wang Feng did not know where he had seen demon god Dai's true appearance. However, he knew what the real demon god Dai looked like from his memory. When Wang Feng used the elemental origin to transform into demon god Dai, there was a difference between him and the real demon god Dai. However, because it had been so long ago, the old subordinates of the Imperial Demon Army had been fooled. After they had gotten used to it, they no longer had any doubts. But the Dai Demon God in front of him was the Dai Demon God in Wang Feng's impression. It was exactly the same as the Dai Demon God from tens of thousands of years ago. It was also exactly the same as the Dai Demon God in his memory. This Wang Fengxin was slightly stunned. Impossible, the real Dai Demon God must be dead. Then the person in front of him, wait a minute. That feeling seems to have come from this demon god Dai. What's going on? Could it be that this demon god Dai has also learned the riddle? Wang Feng suppressed the throbbing of his soul. He suddenly looked at the female soul demon from before. She seemed to be stunned for a few seconds as well, as if she had also experienced the same soul throbbing. Who exactly is this devil god? Wang Feng vaguely felt that this matter was too bizarre. Thus, he watched quietly, hoping that he would be able to see something. When demon god Qing Luo saw that demon god Di beside Di did not speak, she paused and pursed her lip. Dai, are you still angry with me? Are you blaming me for using the 10 royals to test you and causing you to be in danger? Danger? Just because of demon god Wu Jiang? Demon god Dai finally spoke. His voice was like that of a middle-aged uncle, deep and strong. Hearing this, demon god Qing Luo revealed a smile. So, you're not angry with me? Then why didn't you speak along the way? I specially found a soul demon who understood the culture of the divine realm to set up this place. I know that you told me that you wanted to go back to the divine realm alone to take a look. I knew that you definitely can't let go of the divine realm. Divine realm? Do you think that I went there because I missed the divine realm? Demon god Dai turned around and looked at demon god Qing Luo. Isn't that so? Demon god Qing Luo was stunned. Qing Luo, how long have we been separated? Let's calculate according to the Dark Demon World's calendar. Demon god Dai did not answer directly. 49,999 years. It's almost the reincarnation calamity of a small world. Qing Luo stopped and sighed softly. More than 40,000 years, tens of thousands of years. Do you think that I'm the same as I am now? Demon god Dai looked around and his gaze stopped on a female soul demon for a few seconds. Then, his gaze stopped on the dream soul demon in the corner of the courtyard for a few seconds. Then you. Demon god Qing Luo was stunned. Didn't Shang demon god tell you demon gods? Demon god Dai said slowly. What happened in the divine realm? Do you think I still miss the divine realm? No, I hate the divine realm. I hate everything in the divine realm. Demon god Qing Luo's lips parted slightly, showing how shocked her master was. Following this, demon god Qing Luo looked at Shrek's chef and the entire courtyard without saying a word. In that case, I'll dismiss them immediately. Let's move this courtyard to another place. Forget it, I'll just kill them. Wang Feng. Is this how demon gods do things? Wang Feng thought to himself, this guy is really unreasonable. However, even Shrek's head chef and his assistants were insignificant figures. The kind that could be destroyed with a flick of a finger. For demon gods, there was no need to reason with such weaklings. On the contrary, if they were left alive, they might be an eyesore. An eyesore to a demon god, especially demon god Dai. That's not good. Hearing this, Oscar's eyes widened. They were all dumbfounded. However, at this time, the demon god was old, so they didn't dare to communicate mentally to avoid being detected. They could only look at each other. Because it was too sudden, they didn't even beg for mercy. Then kill them. Demon god Dai waved his hand and said casually, they're an eyesore. Demon god Qing Luo glanced at Shrek and the other chef. With a cold snort, she took a few steps forward and gently raised her hand. In an instant, an aura as deep as the sea descended from the sky. Demon god Qing Luo was a standard demon god from the old era. However, she had the exclusive God Slayer. Whether it was her soul, body, or origin source laws, they were all extremely powerful. In an instant, the sky changed. Demon god Qing Luo didn't even use God Slayer. She just raised her hand. Oscar and the others instantly felt the aura of death. With their strength, they could still put up a struggle. At this moment, demon god Qing Luo's figure froze. Her raised hand was placed in the air. She seemed to have thought of something and turned to demon god Dai. Are you really going to kill them? Demon god Dai was slightly taken aback. He frowned and said, Qing Luo, when did you become so indecisive? You're calling me Qing Luo again. I've been in Sky Luo Manor for 2 days. Can't you call me by my real name? Demon god Qing Luo snorted coldly. In that case, don't regret it. I've tasted the divine world delicacies they make. They're not bad. You used to have a special liking for food. Chapter 1504. Demon God Dia remained silent. Wang Feng watched quietly from the side. He had no intention of making a move. These Shrek chefs were not Oscar and were just ordinary soul demons, so it had nothing to do with him. Instead, it was a good idea to see Qing Luo's means. As for Dai, Wang Feng could not see through him. It was very strange. At this moment, Qing Luo turned around, raised her hand, and did not stop. Attack! At this moment, the female soul demon shouted. Just as Qing Luo raised her hand. In an instant, the other soul demons immediately erupted with a terrifying energy. There were a total of 6 of them. A light that resembled moonlight swept across each of them. Then, several resplendent divine halos rose from each of them. Divine halos? Wang Feng was stunned. Was he a god? Could it be Dai Mubai, Oscar, and the others? Their bodies changed. Such a huge amount of energy immediately filled the entire courtyard. It only took an instant for them to turn from soul demons to god. The moment the divine halos appeared, even Qing Luo was stunned for a while. Gods? So you are the gods who escape, I see. Qing Luo immediately reacted. Her face did not turn gloomy after being deceived. Instead, she smiled. It's impressive that you can hide from my perception. However, aren't you looking down on me a little too much if you think you can escape from me? Do you know what I'm best at? The azure sun of heaven and earth. Seal. Qing Luo's eyes shone with azure light. In an instant, the world was in chaos. Countless patterns that seemed to have materialized flew out of Qing Luo's hand. They turned into countless divine runes of law and spread in all directions before finally hiding in the void. The 6 were slightly stunned. They felt that the world around them seemed to have changed, but it did not seem to have changed. However, there was an additional azure sun in the sky. It's the origin space. We have been sealed. Zhu Zhuqing communicated mentally. I can sense that Qing Luo's origin is very powerful. Moreover, she hasn't used Godslayer yet. I don't believe it. Dai Mubai's eyes flashed with golden light as 7 divine halos flashed around his body. He was a first-tier god in the god world, a god of war who had inherited the war god's quintessence will. His strength was so strong that no one feared him. Chi-Chi and I can use the origin to buff you, but there's only one chance. Oscar said in a low voice, it's best if Fatty works together. Both of your origins are very powerful. You can break this origin space in one move. Only then will we have a chance to escape. With that, the light from his divine halo flowed into Dai Mubai's body. That's right. Zhu Zhuqing nodded slightly. With my wind origin, even if I only create a small opening in this origin space, I can still teleport all of you tens of thousands of miles away. You will have a chance to escape. You still want to fight? To their surprise, Qing Luo squinted her eyes and looked at them with a faint smile. The few of you think nothing of me, a fiend celestial? The reason I haven't killed you yet is because I want to know why you escaped gods have come to hide in my place. Tell me and I can still give you a dignified death. I won't deal with your divine souls and give you a chance to reincarnate. If you want to fight, then I won't be polite. With that said, demon goddess Qing Luo glanced at Dai beside her. Dai, how do you want them to die? Qing Luo asked. I remember that you hate all the gods in the god world. Sigh, it's all my fault for not being able to sense it. Dai was expressionless as he looked at them. Qing Luo, you can still make the gods of the god world come to your residence. You still can't sense it. You really don't qualify as a fiend celestial. Qing Luo's face stiffened. Being scolded like this made her very angry. At this moment, the surrounding space suddenly rippled. Qing Luo watched as 2 of the gods joined forces and released a burst of intense divine power. Like the sun in the sky, it blasted into the surrounding space. If you want to break my origin space, Then I can just throw away my title as a fiend celestial. Demon goddess Qing Luo looked at the two gods and sneered. Weren't these gods looking down on the fiend celestials too much? In the dark demon world, even god kings couldn't break her origin space. Just the few of them were first-tier gods? Just as she said that, suddenly, a silver light flashed. At the center of the explosion, there was a faint mark. Oh! Qing Luo was stunned. To be able to split open a crack in my origin space, it's not simple. But it'll be difficult for you to leave. With that, she looked at the silver light. It was the female soul demon from before who had transformed into a woman. She was wearing black tight clothes and had a hot figure. Her face was cold and elegant. Even Qing Luo was secretly impressed by her temperament and appearance. Among the first-tier gods in the divine world, to have such strength, Qing Luo seemed to have thought of something. With a wave of her hand, the crack was immediately mended. Oscar and the other gods were about to escape, but lost their chance. It should be the flower of the divine world with two god positions, Zhu Zhu Qing, right? Qing Luo gently raised her hand again. In an instant, countless chain-like divine runes appeared on Osk and the others. They were formed by the laws and sealed the world. They couldn't even move their minds. A first-tier god can split open the origin space of a fiend celestial. No wonder in the void battlefield. I heard that you brought a lot of trouble to the demonic emperor army. You're even more troublesome than the god kings. Qing Luo said leisurely. Tell me, why are you hiding beside me? Oscar and the others didn't know how to answer. They were hiding beside Qing Luo because they wanted to find a place to stay. After this was over, it would be best if they could get the rewards of killing a god and leave successfully. It would be even better if they could become Qing Luo's right-hand woman and become part of the upper echelons of the dark demon world. But obviously, it wasn't that easy to disguise. There were too many variables. Qing Luo shook her head. If you don't want to say it, then forget it. I don't have the patience to ask. You're going to die anyway. With that said, she was about to kill them. Wang Feng looked at the space around him. He was slightly stunned. In that moment, time seemed to fast forward as the scene before him changed. Damn, wait! Wang Feng had just snapped out of his daze when he saw Qing Luo about to seal them up. He immediately bellowed, What are you doing? Qing Wanli, stop! Once he said that. Suddenly, Qing Luo's hand seemed to freeze in midair. After a few seconds, he looked at Wang Feng and seemed to realize that this dream soul demon was also here. At the same time, Oscar and the others were also stunned as they looked at the dream soul demon. You know my real name? Qing Luo narrowed her eyes. You are not the dream soul demon. Who are you? Wang Feng walked out. Of course, he couldn't just watch demonic goddess Qing Luo kill Oscar and the others. But at that moment, he didn't plan on attacking. Wang Feng looked at Qing Luo and suddenly sneered. What are you laughing at? Did I ask you a question? Qing Luo said coldly. She knew that there was a dream soul demon here. The guards had already reported it when she came. But she had already ignored it. I'm laughing at you for being blind, Wang Feng said. Qing Luo's eyes suddenly widened. This was the first time a dream soul demon said that to her. No, he wasn't a dream soul demon. You look like you don't believe me. Why haven't you realized? Wang Feng pouted at Dai. To think that you were one of the closest people to die back then. You can't even tell the difference between real and fake. The moment he said that, as expected, Qing Luo was stunned. Demon God Dai looked at Wang Feng with a half-smile, but he didn't even say a word to defend himself. Qing Luo's expression immediately darkened. It wasn't because she believed Wang Feng, but because this audacious dream soul demon dared to say that. Since you don't believe me, I'll tell you. I'll ask you. Wang Feng said, You know that Dai has appeared, but do you know that he has a human expert with him? Of course I know. Qing Luo looked at Wang Feng with her long and narrow eyes. That human expert is called Wang Feng. But what else do you want to say? Continue, say 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll let you live a few more seconds. Since you know that he's called Wang Feng, you should know that he has a close relationship with Dai, right? They are close friends. Wang Feng continued, but you don't know that Wang Feng comes from the mortal world. He happens to be very good friends with these gods. He followed devil god Dai to the god realm in order to find these gods. Hearing that, Qing Luo was stunned. Could it be that you don't know? Or did this Dai demon god not tell you? Wang Feng slowly looked at Dai demon god. Qing Luo looked at Dai. She really didn't know. To be precise, she had asked, but Dai didn't mention it. TSK, TSK, TSK. Wang Feng continued, if the person beside you is really Dai, do you think he will tolerate you killing these gods after knowing their identities? Hearing that, Oscar and the rest immediately reacted. This Dai devil god was fake. But the premise was that this dream soul demon was telling the truth. Moreover, the Wang Feng beside the real Dai demon god was the brother Feng they thought he was. This is just your side of the story, Qing Luo said slowly. However, she still glanced at demon god Dai beside her. That's simple. Get him to find that human expert to talk to, Wang Feng said. Hearing that, Qing Luo frowned and said coldly, looks like you know quite a lot. You know that the human expert beside Dai sacrificed himself to deal with boundless demon god, and you still say that? There's no proof. You want to stall for time? Do you think I'm joking with you? Question mark. Wang Feng was stunned. I sacrificed myself? When did this happen? Why didn't I know? At this moment, Dai said slowly, my human friend, Wang Feng, died in another world when he was dealing with boundless demon god with me. There should be very few people who know about this. Unless you're from that world. Why, you know Wang Feng too. F***ck. So that's what Dai said to Qing Luo. Wang Fengxin thought to himself. This bastard. Qing Luo, looks like you're really suspecting me? Dai looked at Qing Luo and shook his head. Since that's the case, then treat me as a fake. I'm leaving. As for these gods, do whatever you want. With that, he turned to leave. Wait. How can I believe a dream soul demon that popped out of nowhere? Qing Luo quickly grabbed Dai's arm and looked at Wang Feng with killing intent. I'll turn them into ashes immediately. Just you wait. Clearly, this demon god Dai's move of retreating in order to advance was very effective. Seeing this, Wang Feng shook his head. Things had already come to this. He could only take action. However, Wang Feng didn't expect that this test didn't make Dai reveal anything. What a pity! Wang Feng muttered. At this moment, the Dai demon god turned around and looked at Wang Feng. He seemed to be waiting for Wang Feng to attack. End of chapter. Chapter 1505. Qing Luo did not say a word as she locked onto Wang Feng. Her eyes were enshrouded with azure light as her aura increased several-fold. She slowly pulled out a god-slaying ridge from her back. The platinum-colored god-slaying ridge was segmented and filled with profound nomological patterns. It emitted an extremely powerful aura. Exclusive god-slaying was very different from the current fourth-generation god-slaying. The resources required to create a custom-made godslayer were enough to make several top forces go bankrupt. It could even easily empty out many small worlds. As for Qing Luo's god-slaying ridge, its name was Azure Fiend Scythe. In its weapon form, it was a special scythe. Wang Feng had heard of such exclusive god-slayers and had also heard of them. However, it was impossible to understand the details of an exclusive god-slaying. There were only general rumors. As for Qing Luo's god-slaying weapon, it was rumored that Qing Luo had explored the universe for nearly 1,000 years. She found several gigantic planets and used their stellar cores as origins. Then, she added countless materials and used the stellar cores of 2 other fiend celestials as a cauldron to refine it. To put it simply, the god-slaying weapon was refined using a stellar core similar to the sun as a cauldron. Countless materials were added to it. It was also not forged in the tenebrous fiend world. There were only 9 exclusive god slayers in the tenebrous fiend world. Qing Luo's azure fiend scythe was definitely one of them. The 3-meter-long fiend scythe was the color of azure flames. It looked extremely gorgeous, but what was even more terrifying was that the aura emitted by the weapon made Wang Feng feel danger. God slaying. Yama Lord's initial goal in creating this item was to make it possible for gods to perish, be it godly monarchs or fiend celestials. Just this weapon could kill a godly monarch. Then, only the god-slaying weapon was left. This item also contains powerful nomological origins. It's as though it is one with Qing Luo, as expected of an exclusive god-slaying weapon. With this item in hand, ignoring her actual strength, just her aura alone makes Qing Luo several times stronger. Wang Feng thought to himself. It was even stronger than the divine artifacts and super-divine artifacts of the divine world. As for its uses, it was hard to explain. It could be said to be omnipotent. The god-slaying ridge was not simply a weapon. It was an artificial intelligence lifeform that could aid a soul fiend's cultivation. It was an intelligent lifeform that was exclusive to godslayers. It possessed intelligence comparable to a demon god, and could help a demon god in all aspects. The devil god's exclusive skill, god-slaying, is not easily used. Qing Luo, why did you use the god-slaying martial art? Do we need to spend so much effort to deal with these gods? Dai Demon God suddenly said. These gods are nothing. However, this dream soul Fei is very strange. Green Radish stared intently at Wang Feng. I can't tell his strength. If he couldn't even see through himself, then he naturally had the strength of a demon god. Also, Song Qing told me that it couldn't analyze the other party's data. I can't even analyze its true form. Oh, Dai said indifferently. That's not simple. Although those gods were formed from a special origin aura, I didn't use Song Qing to analyze them. Otherwise, I would definitely be able to find some clues. Demon god Qing Luo's eyes were cold. Hearing this, Oscar and the others felt their hearts skip a beat. It was true that the demon god's exclusive skill, god-slaying, would not be used. It was almost impossible to fool the perception of a demon god pillar below the level of a demon god. After activating the exclusive god-slaying, with the help of the god-slaying AI, it could sense the aura of a demon god at the same level, or even existences stronger than itself. If one wanted to use the origin aura to hide, it would be easily seen through. No matter how powerful the origin aura was, it would be useless. However, demon gods usually would not use the exclusive god slaying on ordinary soul demons, because it was not worth it. Therefore, when Oscar and the others heard this, they immediately broke out in cold sweat. They had underestimated demon gods. Who knows, he might really be a dream soul Fei. Dai said. Impossible. Song Qing's database has records of all dream soul Fei. Demon god Qing Luo shook her head. Even the dream soul Fei branches in other demon domains have record. All the life forms in my Azure Sun demon region, even the lowest level devil mosquito, can be traced back to their origins. My Song Qing is connected to the god-slaying terminal in the Holy City. As long as it's a life form in our Azure Sun demon region, it can't hide from me. This was the terrifying aspect of the exclusive god-slaying. With a thought, I can sweep through more than half of all life in the Azure Sun demon region. As long as Song Qing investigates the aura and information, no one can escape from me. Demon god Qing Luo was extremely proud. Just as her voice faded, Qing Luo's palm moved slightly as a wisp of azure light blasted out from the demon scythe. It transformed into thousands of Origin's law powers that attacked Wang Feng. Wang Feng frowned slightly. He stole a glance at Dai from the corner of his eye and realized that the latter was looking at him with a look of interest. The god-slaying weapon's attack had already exceeded the range of a pure attack. Even if it was a real dream soul Fei without a corporeal body, it would be impossible for it to dodge such an attack. Qing Luo's casual attack with the exclusive god-slaying weapon was a little like a dimensional drop. Apart from the extremely terrifying might, it directly changed the surrounding laws, rendering any defense useless. If it was a dream soul fey, their bodies would be illusory. Ordinary physical attacks would have no effect. Only pure mental attacks could attack them. And when Qing Luo's attack came, it changed the surrounding laws. It could turn day into night, allowing the dream soul fey to possess a true corporeal body. Similarly, any means below the level of a fiend celestial, even those invincible defensive techniques, would be useless. This was because the laws had changed. Even a fiend celestial of the same level could only resist with their origin's power. This was the strength of the exclusive god-slaying weapon. While attacking, it could rewrite the laws of space, making it impossible to dodge. It was an absolute hit. Wang Feng thought for a moment and did not dodge. He took a step forward and his body turned corporeal. He used his body to withstand the sickle beam. Endless beams of light streaked across Wang Feng's body. The space where Wang Feng was shattered like a gigantic piece of glass. And Wang Feng was the person inside the glass. He was similarly shattered by the attack. But immediately following that, the countless fragments reassembled at the instant they shattered. They returned to their original human form. Few fiend celestials possess such a powerful fiend celestial body. Qing Luo was slightly taken aback. It looks like you are indeed not simple. Wang Feng's expression remained unchanged. With his indestructible origins, it was nearly impossible to kill him physically. Furthermore, Wang Feng now had 4 divine rings. 2 of them came from the power of faith of the Crimson Divine Skyfox clan. His origins were surprisingly powerful. Compared to the Heaven Styx River's power of wishes, Qing Luo's attack appeared ordinary. Wang Feng had survived in the Heaven Styx River for more than half a day. Qing Luo's casual attack could hardly injure him, much less kill him. Chapter 1506. Who are you? Qing Luo looked at her opponent with a solemn expression. Song Qing, what level of origin power did he use just now? Can you analyze it? It's a powerful origin power that specializes in cultivating the demonic body. The laws I rewrote are not affected. This means that this origin power is of a very high level. It should be comparable to your Azure Sun demonic splendor origin. I estimate that you will have to use at least 90% of your strength or Godslayer's overload mode to cause any substantial damage to it. However, the Vice-Chancellor and the Holy City could very well be destroyed in a single day. Or I could rewrite space and directly enter another barren world. But this will cause spatial fluctuations in Holy City, and there is a high chance of creating spatial rift. Hearing this, Qing Luo fell silent. In a battle between demon gods, it was extremely rare for them to use their ultimate move immediately. Usually, they would understand after a little contact. Previously, demonic god Limitless had been killed by Wang Feng's act. I don't believe it. Qing Luo took a deep breath and clenched her fist. In an instant, a green light rose from her body like the rising sun. The demonic scythe in her hand released endless light. Everything in the world was rapidly annihilated by the light. Even space collapsed layer by layer. Let's see if you can take another move from me. Qing Luo growled. Sun-slashing meteor splendor. This was clearly not a single move. This terrifying brilliance directly covered all living beings except for the demon god beside her. The light that arrived in an instant contained thousands of arcs of light, enough to split stars and land. If this move was used in the universe, it would probably be able to easily slash several planets. For example, the Douluo world would probably not even be able to withstand the afterglow before collapsing. A battle between demon gods was too terrifying. Wang Feng sighed and said slowly, Qing Luo, it's only been a few thousand years. Qing Wanli, it's merely been over 40,000 years since we last met. I didn't expect that you actually can't even differentiate between real and fake. You dare to attack me? The moment he said that, Wang Feng's body suddenly erupted with flames that shot into the sky. Several pitch-black shadows appeared behind Wang Feng. He had already fused with his martial soul, and under the slight adjustment of the elemental origin, he transformed into the appearance of the Dai Demon God. However, compared to the Dai Demon God, there was still a very obvious difference. His body was tall and imposing, and his demonic flames soared to the sky. This was Wang Feng's current form. Destroy. Seeing the boundless light rushing over, Wang Feng's palm seemed to be holding a black hole. It burst out with intense origin light, sucking in all the light. There was no need for a fiend celestial to stick to a single move. With the Devour origin in hand, Wang Feng could absorb as much as he wanted. Although Wang Feng's Devour origin wasn't able to suck the Styx River clean that day. However, Wang Feng was able to completely devour Qing Luo's attack. Most importantly, his demonic body could bear it. It was as if the sun had fallen into a black hole. In an instant, the brilliance disappeared without a trace. However, this courtyard had also become a pile of ruins. If Wang Feng had been a little slower, the other buildings around the Vice House, including Tianluo Manor, would probably have been turned into ruins. However, Fiend Celestial Qing Luo was rather benevolent to the servants in her residence. Before she took action, she had already dispersed them. A moment later, the wind was calm. Qing Luo looked at the demonic figure in front of her in a daze. Oscar and the other gods were also stunned. F***CK, there are two F***King Dai Demon gods? Wait, this Dream Soul Demon is Dai Demon God? Damn. Why is Dai Demon God pretending to be a Dream Soul Demon? Yes, I was wondering why he seemed to be protecting us. If he's Dai Demon God, then he must be Brother Feng's friend. We were still thinking of sneaking into the upper echelons of the dark demon world. I didn't expect Brother Feng to already have a relationship with a demon god. Speaking of which, has he already come out of seclusion from the Douluo world? Oscar and the others, who were in a daze, suddenly woke up with a start. They were a little excited and a little relieved as they started to transmit their voices mentally. Dai Demon God. Did Wang Feng also pass the riddle to him? Or did Wang Feng make some kind of deal with this demon god? Zhu Zhuqing, on the other hand, thought of something else. If the other party was Dai Demon God, then that premonition just now, cultivating the riddle, gave one another this kind of premonition. It was more like a kind of foresight. There was no special connection. If Wang Feng passed it to others, it wouldn't be surprising. It was just that this riddle was extremely difficult to comprehend. If that's the case, then it makes sense. Zhu Zhuqing felt that she should have figured it out. His gaze then landed on Dai, who was standing beside Qing Luo. But this Dai Demon God seems to have also cultivated the riddle. This is strange. No, since they've both cultivated it, then it means that they are both related to Wang Feng. They can all be real. The difference is that their attitudes are different. One wants to kill us, the other wants to protect us. Zhu Zhuqing frowned slightly. Then, who was this fake Dai Demon God pretending to be him? He was quite daring. He even fooled Qing Luo by pretending to be Dai Demon God. At this moment they were startled awake. But Qing Luo was somewhat stunned. You, Qing Luo nearly dropped the demon scythe in her hand. She subconsciously looked at Dai Demon God beside her. Yes, he was still here. It was not a dream. Two Dai Demon Gods? No, one of them was definitely real. Wang Feng directly revealed his identity. Because if they were to continue fighting, the outcome would not be decided. He might not be able to protect Oscar and the rest. Qing Luo looked at the Dai Demon God that the Dream Soul Demon had transformed into. Although he was very different from the Demon God in her impression, It was clearly not wise to judge a demon god from his body, because his body could change to existences at the level of demon gods. The body of a living being was like clothing. Dai demon god beside her seemed somewhat stunned. He looked at Wang Feng, perhaps not expecting it. Qing Wanli, so many years have passed. Even though you have become a demon god and have the exclusive God-Slayer ability, your strength has increased greatly. But you still don't seem very smart. Wang Feng snorted coldly. With his aura augmented, he was extremely dignified. Qing Luo opened her mouth, momentarily at a loss for words. How am I not smart? Qing Luo retorted angrily. She looked at Demon God Dai beside her and said slowly, I invited Demon God Dai to the appointment because Demon God Dai left something with me. This item is very important. He instructed me before he left. If he returns from the divine world, I am to return this item to him. He will definitely not reveal this matter to outsiders, no matter who is real and who is fake. But as long as it is the real Dai Demon God, then he will definitely know what this item is. Qing Luo slowly looked at Dai Demon God beside her. Good, I haven't told you yet. Hearing this, Wang Fengxin's heart skipped a beat. Previously, when Qing Luo got the 10 reins to send him over, she had indeed said that. In addition, he had discovered the Pangu axe diagram left behind by Dai in the Cloud Sea Pass's storage, as well as a few words. This meant that Dai might have left behind other information in other places. It was a notice. Then, it was indeed possible that he had left something here with Qing Luo. But I don't know, Wang Feng thought to himself. Who knew? Wang Feng was not the real Dai Demon God. How could he know so clearly? If he guessed, perhaps it has something to do with the Pangu axe? Wait, it might not be an item. How could Dai Demon God hand such an important item to a soul demon, and even know that he would return? Bullsh *t. Dai Demon God could not know that he would return. Therefore, it was impossible for him to retrieve it. And Qing Luo was infatuated with Dai back then. Could it be? Wang Fengxin was alarmed. Which one of you will go first? Qing Luo's eyes were filled with anticipation as she looked at the 2 Dai Demon Gods. I never trust any soul demon. Dai Demon God said indifferently, Qing Luo, you are lying. I didn't leave anything with you back then. Therefore, there is no such thing. The moment that was said, Qing Luo was slightly taken aback as a hint of disappointment flashed in her eyes. After a long silence, she did not say a word and only snorted coldly. It was as though she had foreseen the outcome. Oscar and the other gods could not help but think to themselves when they saw this scene. This must be fake, right? What about you? Qing Luo looked at Wang Feng. Back then, this sovereign did indeed leave an important item with you. Wang Feng's voice suddenly became gloomy. Do you know what it is? Qing Luo asked. Oscar and the others also listened. Wang Feng looked at Qing Luo with a slightly aged gaze. His low voice seemed to return to tens of thousands of years ago. It's a promise. You are Qing Wanli's heart. The moment he finished speaking, Qing Luo's body trembled violently as tears welled up in her eyes. Hearing this, Oscar and the other gods exclaimed in their hearts. Only Zhu Zhuqing felt that this tone was vaguely familiar. This familiar tone. Why does it sound like Wang Feng? Zhu Zhuqing snorted softly in her heart. Birds of a feather flock together. If Rongrong was here, she would probably scold this Dai Demon God for not being a good person. End of chapter. Chapter 1507. Everyone was silent. When Wang Feng saw Demon God Qingluo's expression, he knew that he was right. However, with my understanding of Dai, he's a god that doesn't fall in love. I didn't expect him to make such a promise to Demon God Qingluo. Wang Fengxin thought. Suddenly, Wang Feng realized that Demon God Dai knew he was going to die in the divine world. This meant that the promise he made to Demon God Qingluo was impossible to fulfill. Wasn't this making demon god Qingluo wait for so many years for nothing? Scumbag. Wang Fengxian spat. Since he knew he was going to die, why not just cut off demon god Qingluo's hope and end it directly? Wasn't that better? Perhaps the demon god Dai had already found a partner. No matter how bad it was, being alone and painstakingly cultivating, not being trapped by love, not tasting the pain of lovesickness, it was still better than this. At this moment, demon god Qingluo wiped the tears from her eyes and turned to look at the expressionless demon god Dai. Who are you? Demon god Qingluo said slowly. Why did you disguise yourself as demon god Dai and come to my side? She had already admitted who was real and who was fake. Wang Feng also looked at demon god Dai. That's right, who is this? He even spread rumors that I'm dead. How despicable. Humph. Demon god Dai looked at everyone indifferently. It doesn't matter who I am. Heaven Styx River disappeared and Dai appeared in Soul Demon Sacred City. In less than 3 days, your soul demon will be surrounded by at least 3 demon regions. I want to see the real demon god Dai. Your Azure Sun demon region has been coveted by the other demon regions for a long time. Cut the crap. Demon god Qingluo frowned slightly. My soul demon sacred city has nothing to do with you. I'm asking who you are and why you're here. Otherwise, you can't leave soul demon sacred city. Hearing this, demon god Dai laughed. Me. Demon god Dai said slowly. My name is Wang Wu. I'm here to see an old friend. As for you, demon god Qingluo, I have no other intentions. Wang Wu. Demon god Qingluo pondered for a few seconds. What an unfamiliar name. Wang Feng found the name familiar. Wang Wu. Wang Feng felt his memory go blank. As for Osk and the others, they immediately looked at Qingluo. Are you her subordinate? Zhu Zhuqing stood up and suddenly asked. Wang Wu, if this name was not similar, then they were all too familiar with it. Oscar and the others also looked at each other, and all of them saw some clues. Wang Wu was the name Wang Feng had used to disguise himself as Pope Diff the White. Therefore, if it wasn't identical, then the person behind this name must be the Rakshasa deity, Bibidon, who had entered the dark demon world long ago. What her? Dai demon god looked at Zhu Zhuqing and the other gods, slowly took out a token, and said lightly, I am the chief heavenly demon venerable of the Clear Sky Palace in the central demon region. I was ordered by Yama to warn you, demon god Qingluo. However, I found some traces of your escape and concluded that you escaped to the Soul Demon Sacred City. Coincidentally, demon god Dai would definitely be in the Azure Sun Demon region. Therefore, I used this identity to patrol Clear Sky Palace. It was a powerful force under Yama's command in the central demon region. This was the first time Wang Feng had heard of Clear Sky Palace. Heavenly Demon Venerable? Qingluo was slightly dazed. Impossible. Heavenly Demon Venerable is the successor of Clear Sky Palace. Now that Yama is in charge of Clear Sky Palace, there is no need for a successor. Wang Feng understood what he meant. Heavenly Demon Venerable was to inherit Yama's mantle. But what kind of existence was Yama? She was the most ancient existence in the dark demon world, having lived for several eras. In terms of age, she was at least 100,000 years old. Although the dark demon world was in constant conflict, it was an internal conflict. In essence, it was still thriving. Could be seen from the most basic combat strength. Of course you don't know, Dai Demon God said lightly. Yama Lord has already quietly left the dark demon realm to do something that concerns the survival of the dark demon realm. There is a possibility that she will perish. What do you mean? The Yama Lord has entered the well of reincarnation. Dai closed his eyes. That's all I can tell you. If Yama hadn't left the central demon region and disappeared, the dark demon region would have disappeared. Even if the Heaven Nether River had disappeared, those demon regions would not have casually started a realm war. Yama has entered the well of samsara. Qingluo was stunned. If not for the fact that the token in his hand was indeed the Clear Sky Palace's token, she would have suspected that this heavenly demon venerable was lying to her. The Well of Samsara. It was a place that concerned the dark demon world's samsara. Samsara was a major event in the world. It concerned the reincarnation of billions of lives in the dark demon world. Without the Well of Samsara, countless lives in the dark demon world could not enter samsara after death. They could only drift across the world, and their descendants would not be able to maintain a certain level of talent. Simply put, with samsara, one era would be stronger than the other. Without samsara, there would be too many fiend souls and wraiths in the world. The new lives would be inferior to the previous era in all aspects. Therefore, one era would lag behind the other. Every aspect would decline. The final outcome was already deduced by powerful soul fiends in the dark demon world. Without the Well of Samsara, the best outcome for the dark demon world would be to remain stagnant. Simply put, even if the number of fiend celestials decreased, to the point that no soul fiend could cultivate to the fiend celestial realm, Yama would become the strongest combat power in the dark demon world. However, only fiend souls after death could sense where the Well of Samsara was, and after becoming a fiend celestial, they could roughly sense it. However, just because they could sense it did not mean that they could enter the Well of Samsara as they wished. If a fiend celestial entered the Well of Samsara, the only outcome was death. Then, the fiend soul would enter samsara and enter the next life. Qing Luo could not understand why Yama had entered the Well of Samsara. Wang Feng had also heard about the Well of Samsara, which was a rare occurrence. This was the place where he had punched in. It was very special. Heavenly Demon Venerable. Wang Fengxin's heart stirred. Heavenly Demon Venerable has also cultivated in the prefix riddle. Could it be related to Yama? And the Heavenly Demon Venerable's words left Zhu Zhuqing and company dumbfounded. Oh, did I get the wrong person? They exchanged a few more glances. That's all I have to say. Take care of yourselves, said Heavenly Demon Venerable indifferently. The Central Fiend region is very far from here. It won't be able to help your Azure Sun Fiend region. With that said, he looked at Wang Feng one last time as a glint flashed in his eyes. Following that, his figure disappeared like a ripple in space. He vanished without a trace. So it's Yama Lord's void projection. I was wondering why I couldn't sense it. Upon seeing this, Qing Luo seemed to understand something. What's a void projection? Asked Wang Feng. End of chapter. Chapter 1508. Yama Lord obtained the 18 heavenly fiend ancient arts related to fiend soul incarnation from a universe ruin, whispered Qing Luo. To be able to construct a void intent with strength no weaker than the main body, even a fiend celestial would not be able to distinguish the real from the fake. This heavenly fiend ancient art is extremely harsh to cultivate. In my impression, only Yama Lord knows it. Since she has passed it down to a heavenly fiend supremacy, she might really be the successor of the Clear Sky Palace. Isn't that just an avatar? Wang Feng shook his head. I'm familiar with that. How can this 18 heavenly fiend ancient art be more powerful than the one spirit into 3 pure ones? It's not a simple avatar, but a soul avatar. Qing Luo explained. An identical soul. Even the origins can be directly replicated. Therefore, fiend celestials can sense that this is the most terrifying thing. As it's a void intent constructed by the soul, it can disappear and appear at any time. However, it has strength no weaker than the main body. It can abandon its body at any time and allow its soul to traverse the void and descend into other regions. It's even more terrifying than a fiend celestial's intent projection. After hearing Qingluo's explanation, Wang Feng thought for a moment. It didn't sound like much. However, this was when compared to the one spirit into 3 pure ones he cultivated. However, compared to others, it was definitely more powerful. These gods. Qingluo looked at Wang Feng. Ahem. Wang Feng waved his hand and said, "These gods are friends of my good friend, Wang Feng. I have already said it. Let them go and let them return to the divine world. Now that the divine world has changed, the few of them won't be of much use." Qingluo fell into silence. "You didn't participate in the divine war, right?" Wang Feng looked at Qingluo. "Since you didn't participate, the outcome of the divine war has little to do with you. These gods don't have much of a grudge with you. They're probably here just to hide and find a chance to escape." "All right." Qingluo nodded slightly. "However, these gods are unlikely to be able to return to the divine world. Yunhai Sea is located in the Abyssal Sea Fiend domain. That heavenly fiend's supremacy wasn't lying. Song Qing also sensed that armies from other fiend domains are approaching the Azure Sun Fiend domain. Among them is the fiend army from the Abyssal Sea Fiend domain. It's not realistic to want to go to Yunhai Sea. Song Qing. This is my godslayer. Wang Feng fell silent. Deal with them yourself. Qingluo glanced at Oscar and company before turning to leave. After you are done, come find me. I have something important to discuss with you. These fiend celestials are courting death. Wang Feng shook's twos. After I Yunhai to return. To it. To Yunhai. Since you are Wang Feng's friends, I will not make things difficult for you. Qingluo's twos to say. Perhaps it was because the situation before his eyes was somewhat unexpected. Big Brother Feng, he didn't come with you? Ma Hongjun asked, scratching his head. Where is he? Wang Feng thought for a while. He is now going to do something big for this sovereign. As long as this big thing is done, all the devil gods that are besieging the Azure Sun Devil region will suffer. You trust him so much? Oscar was surprised. Demon God Dai was arrogant, but he was also a legend. He was a legend in the divine world and dark demon world. He must be confident to say such words. It seemed that Demon God Dai trusted Big Brother Feng a lot. As expected of Brother Feng, Oscar and the others thought. Of course. Wang Feng said, I've been paying attention to him since he was in the Douluo world. He also inherited part of my power. If you are familiar with his dark angel martial soul, you will be able to see some of my origin power. Oscar and the others nodded. That was true. But they didn't expect Demon God Dai to not only not die, but also lurk in the Douluo world. Then, Wang Feng glanced at these people. Dai Mubai, Oscar, Ma Hongjun, and their partners. Oh, Dai Mubai's partner should be in the divine world. And this woman who resonated with the riddle. Who is she? Wang Feng looked at the woman and couldn't help but ask, by the way, this is? This question stunned Oscar and the others. Ma Hongjun said with a smile. Demon God Dai, Brother Feng asked you to save us. Didn't he tell you about us? It can't be. If you didn't recognize us, you wouldn't have saved us. Could it be that Brother Feng didn't tell you about Zhu Qing, our Shrek's seventh sister? That can't be right? They all laughed. They felt that Demon God Dai's question was superfluous. Oh no. I really don't remember. Shrek's 7 monsters, they are together. I should know. Wang Fengxin's heart jumped. He knew that this woman's identity must be part of the memory that was erased by that figure. But why did that figure erase her identity and memory? Wang Feng couldn't understand. She can't be my confidant, right? Impossible, I'm a loyal man. Wang Feng felt that he must return to the Douluo world as soon as possible and connect with his main body. What should I do? Should I say that I know? If I say that I know and they ask me back, I won't be able to answer. Wouldn't I be exposed then? Wang Feng pondered for a few seconds. At this moment, the woman seemed to have noticed something, and a faint smile appeared on her cold face. Demon God Dai, who did Wang Feng mention to you? This. Wang Fengxin's heart skipped a beat. This woman's smile was very familiar to him. You all mentioned it, Wang Feng said. Oh? In what capacity did you mention it? Zhu Zhuqing asked. This, of course it's a friend. Wang Feng answered with a jack-of-all-trades answer. Just a friend? Zhu Zhuqing stared at demon god Dai in front of her. What else? Wang Feng felt that something was wrong. It was killing intent. There was killing intent in this woman's eyes. Moreover, it wasn't towards demon god Dai. It was towards Wang Feng. What was going on? Could it be? Wang Feng held his breath. I'm also a scumbag? Wang Feng had a question mark in his heart. When the others heard this, they were all extremely shocked. Sister Zhuqing, your Wang Feng is really a scumbag. Xin Lingqi covered her mouth and chuckled. It seems that he has stayed in the Douluo world for 10,000 years and has already forgotten about you. Wang Fengxin's heart skipped a beat. Damn, it's true. F***ck, so I'm really a scumbag? Wang Feng secretly scolded himself. Dai, sorry, I accidentally hurt an ally. I hope your spirit in heaven won't blame me for calling you a scumbag just now. However, looking at the appearance and figure of the woman in front of him, Wang Feng thought about it. It's not bad to be a scumbag. He's not a scumbag. Zhu Zhuqing's tone was gentle. These words warmed Wang Fengxin's heart. It seemed that the memories that were erased were the memories of other girls that I scumbag? That figure actually erased these memories of mine. However, looking at the woman in front of him, Wang Feng lamented that he was still very good at being a scumbag. Look, she can still speak up for me. After all, we are just friends. Who knows who he came to the dark demon world for? Zhu Zhuqing's tone was still gentle. Her entire body was emitting a gloomy aura. Wang Feng could tell that something was wrong. This was the rhythm of flipping out. She was not speaking up for him at all. It must be for seventh sister, after all, Rong Rong is in the god realm. Ma Hongjun hurriedly smiled. It's okay, when I see him, I'll ask him personally. Zhu Zhuqing smiled. When the others saw this smile, they felt a chill down their back. You can ask? He's so scumbag, so smart. He definitely won't talk about other girls in front of you. He most likely said that he came to the dark demon world for you. Xin Lingqi said carefully. Wang Feng, am I such a scumbag? Why not? Zhu Zhuqing said slowly. I can use the divine fantasy origin to change into other people's appearance, there's no need to ask directly. When the time comes, I'll try one by one and see who he's happiest to see first. I'll know who he came to the dark demon world for. A jealous woman was indeed ruthless. Everyone was startled. Wang Fengxin broke out in cold sweat. That was close, that was close. Luckily I knew the test question in advance. Speaking of which, her origin can change into other appearances, and it's extremely difficult to discover. Whatever, when the time comes, I'll be fine as long as I see her happiest. Chapter 1509. At the border of Qingyang Demon Region. Countless years ago, the Dark Demon Realm was formed by the merger of the 9 demon realms. At that time, each of the demon realms was a continent. Later, they merged to form the current Dark Demon Realm, which was divided into 9 realms. At the border, due to the merger of the Dark Demon Realm's continents, the collision produced towering mountains. The other demon realms adjacent to Qingyang Demon Region were mostly separated by endless mountains. From afar, the mountains that were tens of thousands of years old looked like they were separating heaven and earth. However, at this moment, many densely packed silhouettes appeared on these peaks. As the clouds and mist in the mountain range dispersed, a cold face slowly appeared. Tisk, tsk, tsk. These demon gods are really restless. At the eastern border of Qingyang Demon Region, an old soul demon lay on the top of a huge mushroom-like tree. He looked at the mountain range that separated the demon realms in the distance and muttered to himself. They couldn't help but attack Qingyang Demon Region after just 1 hour at the Heavenly Styx River. It seems that a demon lord in the Clear Sky Palace leaked the news. They know that the Yama Lord is not in the central demon region. Otherwise, these demon gods wouldn't dare to cause trouble. The old soul demon shook his head. To the east is the main army of 7th Night Demon region. They are all elites. They are all low-rank soul demons with 2 or more saint demon rings. They also have a large number of military demon warships. Looking at the models, I have never seen them before. It seems that Demon God 7 Firmament has developed very well. The old soul demon glanced around and frowned slightly. At this time, a shadow flashed. A blurry figure quickly appeared in front of him. Wuhua greets the celestial demon sovereign. Seeing the figure, the old soul demon immediately stood up and said respectfully, "How is the situation?" The figure that appeared was the celestial demon sovereign. "Not good," Demon Lord Wuhua coughed a few times. Demon God 7 Firmament has mobilized at least 70% of the forces in the demon region. The 12 demon lords have all been mobilized. I sensed that there were about 8 of them. The other 4 are nowhere to be found. Close to 10 million soul demons. An army of this level can already break through that kind of super large wormhole. 7th Night Demon region has been focusing on demon warship research. Although Demon God 7 Firmament's strength is average, his subordinates have developed very strong. Without the natural barrier of the Heaven Styx River, it will be very difficult for the Soul Demon Sacred City to deal with 7th Firmament's army. The Heavenly Demon Venerable nodded slightly, but did not reply. "You went to the Soul Demon Sacred City. Did you find anything?" No Flower Demon Master asked. Demon God Dai has appeared. However, this Dai Demon God is rather interesting. He is very different from the Dai Demon God recorded tens of thousands of years ago. After all, so many years have passed. When Demon God Dai returned to the God realm, something shocking must have happened. It's normal for there to be changes. Flowerless Demon Master understood. Heavenly Demon Venerable remained silent. At this moment, the Heavenly Demon Exalted suddenly said, "There's something that I don't understand. Please speak." No Flower Demon Master said. The Heavenly Demon Lord was the chosen successor of the Yama Lord, and he had the potential to succeed the Yama Lord. Love to read, right? In the future, he would definitely become the leader of the Clear Sky Palace and control the entire 9 regions of the Dark Devil Realm. However, the Dark Demon world was simply too enormous. If he wanted to know everything clearly, he would need a very, very long time. The strength of the Azure Sun Devil region is above average among the 9 Devil realms. In fact, the strength of the 9 Devil realms is about the same. In addition, the Dark Devil realm itself is not rich in resources. The 9 Devil realms are the same. The Heavenly Demon Venerable looked into the distance. Basically, they mostly rely on wormholes to seize large amounts of resources from other worlds. The wormholes of the Azure Sun Devil region have developed well, but in terms of accumulation of resources, or the number of wormholes, they are not very many. These few Devil realms are not too far off. Why are they eyeing the Azure Sun Devil region so covetously? The moment the Heaven Styx River disappeared, they couldn't wait to come? Moreover, according to what I know, other than the Heaven Styx River, there are several other dangerous places in the Azure Sun Devil region. Among them, the most dangerous is the dark border formed by the spatial crack. This place is like a ticking time bomb. Once the Night Demon King at the dark border can't hold on, the first to suffer will definitely be the Azure Sun Devil region. Therefore, even if the Heaven Styx River laughs to death, I can't see anything in the Azure Sun Devil region that is worth these demon gods starting a realm war. Demon Master No Flower, you are the old soul demon of the Clear Sky Palace. Do you know if there are other reasons? After the Heavenly Demon Venerable finished speaking, he quietly looked at the latter. In the Clear Sky Palace, the most knowledgeable person was the No Flower Demon Master. This was because this old soul demon had followed the Yama Lord from the ancient era. He was not a demon god because he was born with a low aptitude. After spending so many years, he could only become a demon master. Moreover, this was the upper limit. However, the other party did know a lot. What you said is actually not a problem. However, there is something you may not know. No, perhaps you know, but you probably didn't think of it. No, Flower Demon Master said slowly. Do you think these demon gods are starting a war for the Azure Sun Devil region? What else? No, it's because of the Heaven Styx River. No, Flower Demon Master pointed with his finger, and an illusory image appeared in front of him. In the image, mountains intersected and ravines crisscrossed. The Heaven Styx River? The heavenly demon Venerable was stunned. That's right, No, Flower Demon Master said in a low voice. You should know a little about the origin of the Heaven Styx River. Rumor has it that in the ancient era, when the 9 regions of the Dark Demon Realm had just merged, the fusion of the 9 regions caused a huge tremor in the world, causing countless soul demons to die, the heavenly demon Venerable said in a low voice. At that time, the 9 regions had just merged, and the reincarnation well had yet to appear. Countless demon souls that could not be reincarnated drifted between heaven and earth. The demon souls that could not enter the reincarnation cycle and remained in the world would produce strong resentment, causing the 9 regions of the Dark Demon Realm to fall into chaos. Moreover, the demon souls that could not enter the reincarnation cycle would be punished by the heavens and suffer a fate worse than death. This would disturb the birth of normal life. Later, the Heaven Styx River appeared and absorbed these demon souls. Only then did the chaotic Dark Demon Realm manage to settle down. The heavenly demon Venerable briefly explained what he knew. The Heaven Styx River was too ancient, and there were many rumors. Most of them had no basis and were merely rumors. What the heavenly demon Venerable knew was what he had read in the ancient books of the Clear Sky Palace, so there should be some degree of credibility. What you've said are all historical books and rumors of the Clear Sky Palace. No, Flower Demon Master first nodded, then shook his head. Some of them are real. Some of them are true, but some of them are false. When the 9 regions of the Dark Demon Realm had just merged, the reincarnation well had already appeared. No, Flower Demon Master said slowly. The Heaven Styx River is actually a long river formed by the water of the reincarnation well. This is because only the water of the reincarnation well can carry the demon soul's power of will and not be punished by the heavens. Chapter 15:10. No. The Tianming River is the water of the reincarnation well. That's all. In ancient times, the reincarnation well didn't appear because the reincarnation well wasn't opened. In fact, the reincarnation well has always been there. Later on, a powerful demon god saw the chaos in the 9 regions and wanted to find a way to resolve it. So, he first visited the 9 zones and searched for the races of the 9 zones. After spending 1,000 years, he finally heard a rumor from an ancient life form. This rumor was about the reincarnation well. There was a reincarnation well in the world that could let all living beings enter reincarnation. After hearing this, he immediately started searching for the reincarnation well. He found it? No, he didn't. Demon Master Wuhua shook his head. However, in order to find the reincarnation well, he used his unparalleled strength and demonic might to unite the 9 zones for the first time. He also changed the name of the 9 zones to the Dark Demon Realm. Sky Demon Venerable. This was the first time she had heard of the name Dark Demon Realm. After unifying the 9 zones, it was much easier to find every flower and grass in the Dark Demon Realm, but the 9 zones were too big. He spent countless years but still couldn't find the Dark Demon Realm. At that time, the Dark Demon Realm was already filled with demonic souls. The resentment of the world had gathered, and there were heavenly punishments happening all over the 9 zones at every moment. It was still chaotic. Seeing this peerless demon god made another decision. Demon Master Wuhua said. Since he couldn't find the reincarnation well, he became a demonic soul. Sky Demon Venerable. So, he killed himself. Sky Demon Venerable. After he became a demonic soul, he went through a lot and united the countless demonic souls in the 9 zones with his unparalleled demonic might. Sky Demon Venerable opened his mouth slightly. If this soul demon wasn't Demon Master Wuhua, she would have thought he was a storyteller. At that time, he finally found the reincarnation well after becoming the master of all souls. However, he found that the reincarnation well was closed. Demon Master Wuhua thought for a moment and seemed to be organizing his words. The conditions to open the reincarnation well are very strict. But what was certain was that he hadn't opened the reincarnation well at that time. Later on, he studied the reincarnation well for a long time. He found that even if he couldn't open it and enter the reincarnation well, the well water around the reincarnation well was very helpful to the devil souls. The overflowing well water can prevent the demonic souls from being punished by the heavens. It can even absorb the power of belief from the demonic souls. It will allow the demonic souls to step onto another path of cultivation. So, he moved the well water around the reincarnation well back, and formed the current Tianming River. Heavenly Demon Venerable was slightly enlightened. So that was the case. However, this doesn't seem to have anything to do with my question. The Heavenly Demon Venerable frowned slightly. Wait, you mean, she seemed to think of something. No Flower Demon Master sighed softly. Do you know what happened to this great ancestor demon after he moved the well water? He entered the reincarnation well? Reincarnated? No, he didn't enter the reincarnation well. No Flower Demon Master murmured softly. After he opened the Tianming River, the heavens sent 3 streams of pitch-black devil chi. One of them helped him form a devil body, while the second helped him surpass the demon god realm. He crossed the threshold of the demon god realm and became a supreme existence. Later on, he left the dark demon realm and entered the vast universe. Rumor has it that he became the supreme existence of the universe. After hearing this, the Heavenly Demon Venerable's heart fluctuated. This great ancestor demon was terrifyingly tenacious. After countless trials, he surpassed the demon god realm? The demon god realm was a huge threshold in itself. According to the Heavenly Demon Venerable's knowledge, only the Yama Lord had a slight possibility of surpassing the demon god realm. What are those 3 streams of devil chi? Did the heavens send them? The Heavenly Demon Venerable continued to ask. This seemed to be the key. The key to breaking through to the demon god realm? 2 streams of devil light could make a soul demon without a devil body surpass the demon god realm. This was clearly unbelievable. Seeing this, no Flower Demon Master smiled. You also want to know, right? No Flower Demon Master said leisurely. So, this is the reason why those demon gods attacked the Azure Sun Demon region. Because those demon gods basically only heard about this from others. Perhaps they don't know as much as I do. But they must be very interested in this last stream of devil chi. No Flower Demon Master pointed at the Tianming River in the image. Because rumor has it that the great ancestor demon hid the last stream of devil chi at the bottom of the Tianming River. Because it's useless to him. Waiting for fate. The Heavenly Demon Venerable understood the cause and effect. No wonder these demon gods couldn't wait to attack the Azure Sun Demon region. One had to know that soul demons couldn't enter the Tianming River. Even if they were slightly contaminated by the river water, the best result would be to become a crippled demon. Now that the Tianming River had disappeared, it was the best opportunity to explore the bottom of the Tianming River. So, they didn't come to the Azure Sun Demon region to start a realm war, but to explore the bottom of the Tianming River? The Heavenly Demon Venerable looked at the fleet of demon ships in the distance. No, they want all of them. It's just a matter of priority. No flower demon master shook his head and said, "You haven't been a heavenly demon venerable for long, so you don't know much about these demon gods. Every demon god, even demon god Qing Luo, has great ambitions. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to become a demon god." Wang Feng didn't stay with Oscar for long. After learning of Zhu Zhuqing's thoughts, Wang Fengxin made a mental note of it. Girls sure have a lot of tricks up their sleeve. Wang Feng felt that this matter wasn't easy to discuss. He went to look for demon god Qing Luo. Wang Feng knew that demon god Qing Luo probably had something to say to him in private. "Sai Dai. Although I inherited a portion of your strength, this demon god Qing Luo is deeply in love with you. You are dead. By impersonating you and returning, I can help you sever this demon god Qing Luo's thoughts. It will save her from the pain of lovesickness." Wang Feng obviously didn't plan on accepting demon god Qing Luo as Dai. That wasn't very benevolent. Although Dai had been dead for many years, logically speaking, Wang Feng remembered that he had helped him many times. There was no need for him to do such a thing. When he arrived at Sky Luo Manor's main manor, the guards informed him that demon god Qing Luo was waiting for him silently in a garden in Sky Luo Manor. Sky Luo Manor was called a manor. However, Wang Feng found it more like a small city. It was a little like an enlarged version of the Forbidden City in his previous life. The only difference was that the style was different. The buildings inside were mainly green in color with white complementing them. The courtyards were built majestically. As soul fiends lived in them, they were definitely several times larger than human houses. In a garden made up of unknown flowers and trees, Wang Feng found demon god Qing Luo. The flowers and trees here were greenish-purple in color. Wang Feng had never seen such flowers before, and they emitted a faint fragrance. The trees were dozens of meters tall and weren't considered tall. Demon god Qing Luo sat cross-legged in the void. "Qing Luo, do you have anything you want to say to me?" asked Wang Feng directly. Upon hearing that, Qing Luo's body trembled slightly before she suddenly chuckled. "What are you laughing at?" asked Wang Feng in surprise. "Dai, can you call me by my name?" "I don't have a surname." Qing Luo's voice was faint. Wang Feng frowned slightly. He felt that this demon god Qing Luo was a little different. "Wanli? What do you want to say?" Wang Feng thought for a moment and found Qing Luo a little pitiful. He would satisfy her a little first and find an opportunity to sever all ties with her. Demon god Qing Luo slowly stood up. She was dressed in a green dress, revealing her perfect figure. Just her back view alone was enough to make countless living beings infatuated. "Sigh." She first let out a long sigh. Following that, she said something that left Wang Fengxin astounded. "If only you were a real emperor, how good would that be?" Chapter 1511. Demonic Celestial Qing Luo's sudden words left Wang Feng dumbfounded. "My identity has been exposed? That was impossible. What went wrong?" Wang Feng's expression remained unchanged as he looked at her. He said nonchalantly, "Are you suspecting me? Why? Do you want to verify it?" Qing Luo said with a smile, "There's no need to verify it. I know you are not Dai." Her tone was firm, leaving Wang Fengxin puzzled. What had gone wrong with him? Previously, he had completely distinguished himself from the fake Dai demon god. Furthermore, Qing Luo was the one who identified him and now, she was denying him. These fiend celestials are truly not simple. Instantly, Wang Feng was at a loss for words. There was no point in quibbling at this moment. This was because Qing Luo's tone indicated that there was no need for verification. It was as though she already knew everything. "Although you are not the real Dai," said Qing Luo. At that moment, Qing Luo spoke again. "However, I know that you are the fiend celestial Dai that returned from the cloud CC. Wang Feng was taken aback. "I do not know who you are, nor do I know why you disguised yourself as Dai to come to the tenebrous fiend world," said Qing Luo slowly. But the Soul Fei sacred city is very dangerous. Take those gods and leave quickly. This left Wang Feng astonished. Interesting. There was a long silence. Wang Feng suddenly laughed. I have a question. How did you figure it out? His identity as Dai was something that even the former subordinates of the Dai Fiend army could not detect. Qing Luo had only seen him a few times. How could she be so certain that he was not the real Dai? Qing Luo glanced at Wang Feng before looking at the forest around her. The falling petals landed on her body, bringing with them a withering beauty. It did not seem to contain any signs of life. I suspected it a long time ago. Back when I sent the 10 Rains to probe you, I had ordered them to expose your location if you could not call out my name. I would let Fiend Celestial Limitless test your strength. Also, in order to get you to come to Qing Luo Demon Domain, I told a half-true lie, which was that Dai Demon God had left behind something important. If it was a fake Dai Demon God, he would definitely come to take it. Because since you are pretending to be Dai Devil God, then you must be extremely curious about him. He will definitely come. Hearing this, Wang Feng did not think much of it. This was something that he had thought about before. No, you were the one who invited me. Even if the real Dai Demon God knew that you lied, he would still come. He wouldn't just be obstructed by a boundless demon god, right? Wang Feng shook his head. You can't be so sure that I'm a fake just because of this. Therefore, it was only a suspicion back then, said Qing Luo slowly. Furthermore, it was a half-truth. What do you mean? Demon God Dai didn't leave anything with me. He didn't leave behind any promises. He only left behind a few words before he left. Wang Feng. Previously, when you confronted that heavenly demon supremacy, if you said the same thing as him, then I couldn't be sure that you were a fake. However, you said something else. I have to say, this impostor of yours sure knows how to talk. Qing Luo cocked her head slightly. Back then, Fiend Celestial Dai was silent. He would never say what you said if it were him. In other words, that heavenly demon supremacy is telling the truth? Wang Feng asked with a frown. Then why don't you think he is the real Dai Demon God? Because I knew from the beginning that he was not the real Dai Demon God. Qing Luo sighed softly. Although she disguised herself very well, I am a demon god, and she has Yama Lord's aura. I have a good relationship with Yama Lord. Dai Demon God and Yama Lord are close friends, but it is impossible for her to have Yama Lord's aura. Origin aura. Hearing this, Wang Feng fell silent. I think you are real because you are indeed Dai Demon God who returned from Yunhai Pass. How are you sure? Because of your Godslayer. You came to the Soul Demon Sacred City and contacted the Godslayer terminal here. Although there are many Dai Demon Gods these days, but Godslayer is trash like you unique. And Dai Demon God who returned from Yunhai Pass, as far as I know, his Godslayer is indeed trash. Qing Luo said. So after the verification, I immediately retrieved your Godslayer identity information. Coupled with the strength you showed, I can be completely sure. Wang Feng shrugged. If he was exposed, then so be it. The key was that he had achieved his goal. Oscar and the others were fine. In addition, the situation of the divine war had become vague. After Shang Demon God was scared away by Origin Tribulation Deity King in Void Domain, he did not do anything. The situation of the divine war had become vague. The lower realm, which was the Douluo world, should be greatly relieved. Now, a few decades should have passed, and it might have entered normal development. Next, Wang Feng only needed to find the well of reincarnation and check in. Right, he also needed to find the creation demonic source. Wait, why do I need to find it? Wang Feng found that his memory was broken again. I pretended to be Dai Demon God. You don't plan to deal with me? Without the burden of identity, Wang Feng felt that it was not bad. Why should I deal with you? Qing Luo smiled. You satisfied my needs back then, and heard what I wanted to hear back then. Although I was lying to myself. But only by lying to yourself occasionally can your mind be clear. Qing Luo said slowly. Dai was my sore point. Back then, he left the dark demon world and died in the divine world. It caused my mind to be greatly shaken. About 10,000 years. After another 10,000 years, I walked out of that state of mind. At the same time, I started to hate the divine world. Because of this, I worked hard to cultivate. I walked through countless wormholes, saw various civilizations, universe dimensions, and became a demon god. After becoming a demon god, my hatred for the divine world lessened. Plus, even if I became a demon god, I could not avenge Dai. About 20,000 years later, this hatred turned into longing. Longing for a long time would turn into a heart demon. For a demon god, it would often lead to many powerful phenomena. It would make it difficult to control their mind, and they would even enter some void illusions. Unable to extricate themselves, it was extremely dangerous. Later, Yama Lord combined many civilizations and spent tens of thousands of years to develop God Slayer. After killing a god, my mental state was relieved. At the very least, I had someone to talk to, and it didn't matter what I said. The danger was temporarily gone, but the heart demon was still there. Until I heard the news of you, Dai Demon God, the heart demon that was originally calm probably became restless. Chapter 15:12. Qing Luo looked at Wang Feng. I know that the only way to resolve my mental demons is through Di. When you said those words to me, in fact, I only thought that you were the real emperor. The mental demons have been resolved. Qing Luo heaved a long sigh of relief. Therefore, I am indebted to you. Why should I deal with you? Then, congratulations, said Wang Feng. Wang Feng remembered that Qing Luo had teared up when he finished speaking. He originally believed that she was touched. Now that he thought about it, it was likely that her mental demons had been resolved. Wang Feng suddenly had a thought. If he were to really die, would all the girls he had cheated on end up like Qing Luo? Are you thinking that if you die, will the opposite sex that loves you end up like me? Qing Luo seemed to know what Wang Feng was thinking. Wang Feng coughed a few times. These fiend celestials were indeed old monsters that had lived for tens of thousands of years. Don't worry. They won't. Qing Luo's tone had a teasing tone. You are much better at talking than Di. I believe that the opposite sex that loves you will be coaxed. Even if you were to really die, you would probably make preparations ahead of time. You would not let them end up like me. Wang Fengxin said. F***K, you know me quite well, don't you? Needless to say, Wang Feng felt that he might really do that. Di was different. Di did not even care. He was probably the type that did not care if you love me. Therefore, no matter how infatuated Qing Luo was with him, what did it have to do with him? Naturally, Di did not consider what would happen to Qing Luo after he died in the divine world. How tragic! Wang Feng glanced at Qing Luo. All right, that's all I have to say. Qing Luo shook her head. Beneath Sky Luo Manor there is a wormhole. This wormhole leads both ways. It leads to another desolate world. On the other end of that world, it leads to a wormhole near the desolate Sea Fiend region. You can use this method to leave the Azure Sun Fiend region. Oh, she had even thought of an escape route? Wang Feng thought for a moment. Is the situation that serious? With the Heaven Styx River gone, will the other fiend domains directly attack your Azure Sun Fiend region? That can't be right. Is the 9 great demon regions causing such a ruckus? Wang Feng was puzzled. With the disappearance of the Heavenly Styx River, the natural barrier of the Soul Demon Sacred City was gone. Even if they had enmity with the Azure Sun Devil region, they would at most send an army to vent their anger. Could it be that he really wanted to destroy the entire demon domain? If they were to fight to this extent, then it would be a battlefield of life and death. A true realm war would be comparable to a war between gods. This should cause great damage to the dark devil world, right? Of course. Qing Luo's tone turned cold. That's because this concerns whether one can surpass the level of a fiend celestial. What do you mean? Wang Feng was puzzled. Transcending demon god. From the perspective of godslaying, the appearance of godslaying meant that these demon gods had surpassed the previous demon gods in terms of strength. Qing Luo's words meant that she had transcended the realm of a fiend celestial. This was different. Previously, when he had spoken to the figure in Qi Qiuling, it was clear that there was an even more powerful realm above demon god. It was just that he couldn't achieve it. It was the same for the god world and the dark devil world. What was different was that the dark devil realm had already reached the threshold by killing God. As for the god world, it had not even reached the threshold. However, what did it have to do with this? Seeing Wang Feng's confusion, Qing Luo did not seem to want to explain further. After all, this was an internal matter of the dark devil world. She was still unsure of the other party's true identity and motives. There were many secrets that she would not casually divulge. After all, who knew if the other party would turn on her if he knew? As a result, she would find another opponent for herself? Wang Feng knew the reason why Qing Luo was unwilling to explain further. But at this moment, the sky above the Soul Demon's sacred city suddenly rumbled. In the middle of the day, the dark clouds that were as viscous as lava suddenly swept across the area. Instantly, it was as though day had turned into night. A sinister wind blew as the ground trembled slightly. The sky even felt like it was shaking. At the same time, several massive demonic figures appeared in the sky above the Soul Demon's sacred city. Such a huge and terrifying momentum naturally caused the countless lives in the entire Soul Demon's sacred city to stop and gasp in amazement. Wang Feng also looked into the sky at the same time. Humph! Green Radish's eyes emitted a jade-like luster that illuminated the void. Why? Are the few of you here to issue a letter of challenge? Accompanying the brilliance was Qing Luo's sonorous voice that shook the clouds. Demonic gods? Wang Fengxin said. Just as expected, demonic figures that blotted out the sky appeared above the Soul Demon's sacred city. These were the true demonic figures of the demonic gods. They were projected into the Soul Demon's sacred city from afar, revealing their demonic might. There were a total of 3. Each of them emitted a peerless demonic might that dominated the heavens. They were in no way inferior to demonic god Wujiang. Letter of challenge? Qing Luo, you and I are both demonic gods. In our present situation, you are absolutely certain. Do we still need to issue a letter of challenge to you? The demonic voice resounded from the sky. The domineering might suppressed nearly all lives in the Soul Demon's sacred city, causing them to kneel on the ground. The true demonic might was truly terrifying. And this was only a projection. Qing Luo, this Azure Sun Fiend region does not belong to you. If you know what's good for you, you should leave quickly. If you do not know what's good for you and want to participate, I advise you to consider your own strength first. Another demonic figure's sonorous voice resounded through the clouds. Qing Luo scoffed as she looked at the 3 demonic figures from afar. She let out a mocking laugh. That item is the last one left, but the 3 of you have 3. Is there enough to split? Why? Do the 3 of you plan on merging your 3 souls into one? Upon hearing this, Wang Fengxin's heart stirred. Item? What item? Could it be that these demonic gods had come to the Azure Sun Fiend region for a certain item? Wang Feng's interest was piqued. You don't have to worry about that. I only plan on using peaceful means before resorting to force. After all, we are of the same race in the tenebrous fiend world. It's not good for us to go to war. If you are willing to give up and leave the Azure Sun Fiend region, countless lives can be saved. Qing Luo, You have always been protective of the Azure Sun Fiend region. That's why I'm speaking to you out of goodwill. Otherwise, the one that has landed in the Soul Demon Sacred City would be a demonic figure of mine. Ha ha ha! Qing Luo laughed out loud. I say, how long have you been a demonic god? Why are you playing such childish games? If I were to give up and leave the Azure Sun Fiend region, you would probably immediately come to kill me, right? You just want to know where that item is hidden in the Heaven Styx River, right? What's wrong? Did your subordinates search the entire bottom of the heavenly underworld river one by one and find nothing? That's why you came to say this to me. How childish and laughable. Now I'll tell you. I've been overseeing the Azure Sun Fiend region for more than 10,000 years. If you want to find that item, you will have to kill me and destroy the entire Azure Sun Fiend region. Otherwise, you will never know. Qing Luo looked around coldly. Her aura was like a mountain that connected the heavens and earth. In an instant, the three demonic figures in the clouds fell silent. They seemed to be angry from embarrassment. As for Wang Feng, he was muttering in his heart, Heaven Styx River. What does this have to do with the Heaven Styx River? Immediately following that, he heard one of the demonic figures say coldly, Qing Luo, it's been a long time since I've seen you so unyielding. Did you change a lot? Why? Could it be that your old lover, Di Yi, has returned? Did he give you the courage to face us three demonic gods? Chapter 15:13. There were no clouds in the sky above the Soul Demon Sacred City. The three fiendish figures did not make a single sound, but they sounded like soul-stirring demonic voices from the netherworld. Countless lifeforms knelt down while trembling. Their eyes were glazed over as though their minds could not withstand the supreme demonic might. Although the three fiendish figures were only projections of the Fiend Celestial's true bodies, the demonic might they emitted was something most soul fiends could not withstand. Only existences at the level of Fiend Celestial Lords and above could barely withstand the demonic might and remain conscious. They still knew what was happening in front of them. They could still hear what the Fiend Celestials were saying. As for Wang Feng, Tisk, it's my turn again. Wang Feng shot a sidelong glance at the three Fiend Celestials. The one who spoke the most arrogantly was Chaos Supremacy Fiend Celestial from the Chaos Supremacy Fiend Celestial. The one who persuaded Qing Luo to leave was Fiend Celestial 7 Firmament from the 7th Night Fiend Celestial. The last one who remained silent was Fiend Celestial Desolate Sea from the Abyss Sea Fiend Celestial. And at that moment Qing Luo, who had already flown into midair, stole a glance at Wang Feng. Her eyes no longer had any sadness or melancholy. With her mental demons purged, Wang Feng suspected that even if the real Dai was standing in front of her, it would not cause Qing Luo's emotions to fluctuate too much. Of course, this did not mean that Qing Luo no longer had any feelings for Dai. Instead, she was able to let go. She was not affected in any way. Therefore, even if Chaos Supremacy mentioned Dai, it did not affect Qing Luo at all. If a woman has no flaws, she should be very terrifying, right? Wang Fengxin pondered. However, even Qing Luo would not be able to fight one against three. Also, what are these Fiend Celestials searching for? According to what Qing Luo said, could it be that this item can help them break through to the Fiend Celestial realm? Was that possible? Wang Feng found it highly unlikely. However, the Fiend Celestials were so serious about it. It definitely meant that there was evidence to prove it. If not, the Fiend Celestials would not be so foolish. That is to say, there were existences that exceeded the Fiend Celestial realm in the tenebrous Fiend world before? Wang Feng suddenly thought. That was impressive. How was this done? Should I get involved? Wang Fengxin's heart stirred. Fiend Celestial Qing Luo already knew of his identity. He had more or less achieved his goal. All he needed to do now was find the Well of Reincarnation and make a card. Therefore, he could completely abandon his identity as Dai Devil God, and Wang Feng did not need to deal with these devil gods. Moreover, it's related to the Tianming River. Wang Feng muttered to himself. At this moment, Qing Luo spoke again. Primordial Chaos, I remember that you are from the same era as the Imperial Border Devil God, right? Fiend Celestial Qing Luo said leisurely. Why? Dai destroyed this old acquaintance of yours. Are you feeling uneasy? Dai was able to kill the devil body of Yujiang Devil God. You are an old sect devil god whose strength is not much different from Yujiang Devil God. In the past, you were an ant who could not even be sent in front of Dai. Are you afraid? That's why you said such childish words in front of me? To dispel the fear of Dai in his heart? What a joke! The primordial chaos fiend celestial was stunned, and then he said neither angrily nor happily, if it was tens of thousands of years ago, I wouldn't even dare to breathe when I saw Di as you said. Unfortunately, times have changed. As for Yujiang, Qing Luo, I'm really laughing at your ignorance. You probably don't know what despicable means Dai used to destroy Yujiang's devil body, right? If you don't know, I'll tell you. The primordial chaos fiend celestial laughed loudly. Dai knew that he could not defeat Yujiang, so he entered the wormhole and lured Yujiang into another world. He relied on the experts of the other world to ambush Yujiang, barely killing the devil body. Back then, he dominated the tenebrous fiend world and looked down on the 9 regions fiends. He had never tasted defeat, and had never used any means. He used his strength to suppress the 9 regions heavy fiends. Now, he can only use such means to deal with a fiend celestial. He cares about his reputation, so he probably won't mention this to you, right? Unfortunately, although Yujiang's devil body is dead, his devil soul is still around. He told me all of this. It's just that the Clear Sky Palace did not allow it. Otherwise, how could Dai destroy the present fiend celestial's body? You said that I would fear such a fiend celestial Dai. With that said, Qing Luo came to a realization. In fact, even without Yujiang's explanation, Qing Luo was puzzled by the fact that this false Dai could kill Yujiang's devil body. A fiend celestial's body was augmented by the god-slaying ridge, making it nearly impossible to kill. The only one with such strength was Yama Lord. Even in other worlds, it would not be that easy for a fiend celestial's strength to return to normal. Qing Luo sneered. I can't be bothered to speak with you. As a fiend celestial, why would I care about my means? Dai did not specialize in slaying gods. He has disappeared for tens of thousands of years, and his strength is far inferior to yours. Yet, he was able to kill you fiend celestials. This is the outcome. To think that you are a fiend celestial, saying such shameless words. Scram. I do not wish to interact with foolish fiend celestials like you. I don't want my mind and wisdom to be corrupted. If you have the ability, come at me. With that said, Qing Luo was about to extinguish the 3 fiend celestials. At that moment, Wang Feng suddenly flew into the air and pressed down on Qing Luo's arm. Wait, I have something to say. Upon seeing this, Qing Luo was taken aback. She sent a voice transmission with her psyche. What are you doing? Wang Feng smiled indifferently and replied with his psyche. I'm somewhat interested in the item you are talking about. You don't plan on leaving the Azure Sunfiend region? Qing Luo was somewhat surprised. There's no hurry. I'm also very curious about the item that can allow you to surpass fiend celestials, said Wang Feng slowly. Qing Luo looked at him and did not say anything. Now that she had interfered, she could no longer leave even if she wanted to. If those fiend celestials were slightly prepared, the escape route would not be of much use. I want to know what this item is? Asked Wang Feng. Why should I tell you? Qing Luo's tone did not change. You are not a soul fiend of my dark fiend world. Your origins are unknown, and it's very likely that you are a god from the celestial world. Why should I tell you such an important thing? taking 10,000 steps back. The battle between me and these three fiend celestials is ultimately a matter of my dark fiend world. Even if there is victory, defeat, and death, that item belongs to my dark fiend world. It will not fall into the hands of the celestial world. Wang Feng glanced at Qing Luo in surprise. She had a strong sense of self-awareness. No. I think we can still negotiate, said Wang Feng. I'm only curious about this item. I don't need it. I want to know what this item is, and what kind of relationship and history it has with the Dark Fiend world. As for the conditions of the exchange, Wang Feng looked at the three fiend celestials in the sky and said slowly, just three fiend celestials, and you want to deal with the Soul Demon Sacred City? The three of you, listen up. If you dare to besiege the Soul Demon Sacred City, there is no need for Qing Luo to do anything. I don't even need to do anything. A friend of mine will be able to annihilate all of you. If I can't do it, I, Dai Fiend Celestial, will commit suicide on the sacred city. After he finished speaking, the entire Yun Shao fell silent. End of chapter. Chapter 15-14. When demon god Qing Luo heard the first few sentences, she guessed what this fake Emperor Yi wanted to do. However, she never expected the last sentence to stir up such a huge wave. Demon god Qingluo's soul was stunned for a moment. Her mind was filled with the thought, is he crazy? This was not even a dream. One had to know that there were more than just three demon gods behind these three demon gods. There were also tens of millions of demon armies behind them. It was a huge army with countless soul demons. In total, there were at least tens of thousands of demon lords and thousands of demon masters. One had to know that a devil master of this level, placed in any continent of the devil domain, would be able to oversee a region and be invincible. For example, the level 1 gods of the God World and Demon Master Realm only had over 100. The combined power of these three armies was no joke. As for high-rank soul demons, the high-rank demon soul did not belong to a realm. It was a rank of identity and bloodline. Be it demon lords or demon masters, they were almost all high-rank soul demons. However, high-rank soul demons were not necessarily demon lords or demon masters. Demon lords and demon masters belonged to the same realm. In the dark demon world, only demon lords could be considered to have entered the true realm. This was because the demon lord realm contained many small realms. The difference in strength was also huge. There were at least hundreds of thousands of high-rank soul demons in the three armies, and these were considered high-end combat strength. High-end combat strength was already so terrifying, let alone mid to low-end combat strength. Not to mention other advanced magical machine weapons, various models of demon ships, and so on. Not to mention demon god Qingluo. At this moment, in the Soul Demon Holy City, even the demon lords who still had a trace of consciousness and the demon masters who were completely awake were stunned by Wang Feng's words. Most of the demon lords who were in a daze trembled and were even jolted awake. Even Yama Lord can't say such words? Yama Lord can defeat three demon gods alone, but if he faces the armies behind the three demon gods, it's hard to say. The individual combat strength of the dark demon world was very high. However, the average level was too high. Even a top-tier demon god like Yama Lord might not be able to achieve such a feat even if he had already broken through the demon god realm. And at that moment, the three demon gods were stunned for a long while. Logically speaking, fiend celestials had lived for so many years. Ignoring everything else, every fiend celestial was very arrogant. There was no such thing as keeping a low profile. Most of them kept a low profile because they were too lazy to quarrel with Ant. However, this was the first time the three demon gods had heard such arrogant words. Primordial Chaos Fiend Celestial couldn't help but want to say something sarcastic. But after thinking about it, they didn't know how to mock him. No, the two of you, I am unable to find words to describe how laughable these words are. Primordial Chaos Fiend Celestial shook his head. That's it. It seems the negotiations have fallen apart. Not only did the negotiations fail, the Soul Fae Sacred City and Demon Goddess Qingluo would not give in at all. What do you want to say? What else can I say? They have already said such words. If we don't attack this spirit demon sacred city, we will be embarrassed. Originally, we were all from the dark devil world, so we wouldn't go to this extent. Since this is the case, and the Yama Master isn't here, then don't blame us for being ruthless. Demon God Huanghai sighed. However, this is the demon god Di that your dark devil world revered? He is indeed arrogant. If I can learn a little from this arrogance, then it will be worth it. I originally thought that when this demon god Di appeared, he would at most dare to say that he would challenge the three of us at once. I felt that this was already exaggerated enough. This was also the most arrogant statement I could think of. Unexpectedly, I really didn't expect. I still underestimated this demon god Di. Demon God Seven Firmament felt somewhat regretful. The three demon gods spoke frankly with assurance. In that case, there is no need to talk. Tomorrow morning, the three of us guarantee that not even a trace of air will seep into the Soul Fae Sacred City. Primordial Chaos Fiend Celestial glanced at Demon God Di. He nodded at the three demon gods with a smile on his face. Then, his demonic figure dissipated and disappeared into the sky. What are you trying to do? Demon Goddess Qingluo looked at Demon God Di. There were countless question marks in her heart. Great, now it was a situation where they would fight to the death. Demon Goddess Qingluo even suspected that Di was a spy sent by the divine world to wreak havoc in the dark devil world. With this, the Soul Fae Sacred City would definitely be wiped out. Yes, if Lord Yama did not come, a demon god would definitely perish. Qing Wanli believed that there was a high chance of her perishing. Fine. At most, she would risk her life to kill a demon god. The possibility was not high. As a deal, I will help you resolve the problem of the Soul Fae Sacred City, said Wang Feng. Do you know what you just said? Demon Goddess Qingluo could not help but ask. Of course I do. Wang Feng thought for a moment and said, Don't worry. I have my ways. Just watch. If these three demon gods really dare to attack the Soul Fae Sacred City, I will teach you that the Soul Fae Sacred City will not need to expend a single soldier to bury the three demon gods and their armies. Yes, the demon gods should still be able to survive. But even if they survive, their realms will at least drop. Demon Goddess Qingluo looked at Wang Feng a few times. She was muttering something incomprehensible. Forget it. After a long while, Demon Goddess Qingluo sighed. Since it is so bad, even if you did not say that, the three of them would not let the Soul Fae Sacred City off so easily. What ideas do you have? Yes. Wang Feng thought for a moment. Can I keep you in suspense? It would be meaningless to say it. Besides, if the three demon gods were to learn of it, they would be scared off. That would be bad. Demon Goddess Qingluo. Now, can you tell me what the item is? Wang Feng could not hold back his curiosity and asked. You are a demon god? Not really. Then why are you asking? It is unknown if the item can allow a demon god to break through, but it is certain that if you are not a demon god, there is little meaning in obtaining it. Nothing much. I'm just curious. Upon seeing this, Demon Goddess Qingluo sighed. Now that they were in the same boat, it did not matter if he said it or not. With this thought in mind, Demon Goddess Qingluo recounted the deeds of the great demon ancestor from ancient times. After hearing this, Wang Feng pondered for a long while. He was exclaiming inwardly, Wasn't this 2F** King awesome? Is it possible to do this without cheating? Wang Feng pondered. Maybe. In order to find the well of samsara, he directly unified the 9 domains of the dark demon world. Then, in order to wipe out the fiend's souls, he directly committed suicide. If there isn't any other reason, it must be that his mind is as vast as the universe. Then, he transported the well water around the well of samsara for countless years, forming the Heaven Styx River. Ignoring everything else, just unifying the 9 domains of the dark demon world was a king massive undertaking to Wang Feng. After unification, his ideals did not change and his will was extremely firm. He wanted to find the well of samsara and solve the problem of the fiend souls in the dark demon world. This wasn't just an ordinary level of awesomeness. Don't tell me this demon ancestor has a system too? It's especially a system mission. Wang Feng could not help but guess. If this were a normal person, who would dare to do such a stupid thing? Furthermore, after unification, he had the courage to commit suicide and become a fiend soul. Then, he unified the billions of fiend souls that were floating in the dark demon world. In the end, he really found the well of samsara. Although it was not opened, it was built into the Heaven Styx River. If there was no other reason, Wang Feng felt that he could not have done it. Not to mention himself, no fiend god in the dark demon world could do it. It was also unlikely that the Lord of Hell could do it. Perhaps in this world, there might really be such a supreme existence with such a will. Wang Feng thought to himself. In the end, the 3 demonic auras that descended from the sky not only allowed the demon ancestor to recover his physical body, but also directly surpassed the fiend god. It sounded a bit like becoming a saint through merit. Wang Feng pondered. But where did these 3 demonic auras come from? The demonic source of creation? Impossible. The heavenly Tao of the dark demon world is more or less the same as the heavenly Tao of the divine realm. You can't send down 3 energy auras to let the divine king directly advance, and to restore his physical body. After thinking for a long time, Wang Feng could not figure out the origin of these 3 demonic auras. Or it was an existence of a higher level in the universe, an existence that surpassed the fiend god, that descended. But why did it descend in the dark demon world? In the history of the dark demon world was a world that was born on its own. It was not created by some powerhouse. Wang Feng, who had no clue, could not figure it out. He could not help but think to himself, those 3 demonic auras are probably the system's ultimate reward. System, are you there? Do you have any compatriots? This was the first time Wang Feng heard such an incredible legend, and could not help but ask. Shaking his head, Wang Feng dispelled these ridiculous thoughts in his heart. Chapter 15:15. Qing Luo did not completely trust Wang Feng. Almost immediately after the 3 demonic figures left, Qing Luo summoned the 10 rains. At the same time, she wanted to recall the experts stationed in the various wormholes to return to the Soul Demon Sacred City to defend. However, this matter was too sudden. Almost no one would have thought of something like the disappearance of the Heaven Styx River. This also caused the 3 neighboring demonic gods to move too quickly. Even Qing Luo did not react in time. The Azure Sun Fiend region placed emphasis on the development of wormholes. In Wang Feng's words, they developed extremely well with the worlds on the other side of the wormhole. Typically, the worlds connected to wormholes were weak and would be conquered by powerful demon monarchs. As for the stronger ones that were harder to deal with, they would temporarily establish a large faction internally and wait for an opportunity to strike. There were also some worlds that were comparable to the Dark Fiend world, or stronger than the Douluo divine world. Typically, they would be better off. However, such worlds were extremely rare. However, the Azure Sun Fiend region happened to have such a wormhole. Therefore, among the 9 demon regions, the Azure Sun Fiend region was at the forefront in terms of wormholes. Although the Dark Fiend world did not have many resources to exchange with such worlds, they had technology. There were many civilizations' technology. If it really did not work, they could even resell resources. For example, the Soul Demon Sacred City was somewhat similar to the Sacred City of Myriad Worlds. When Wang Feng first arrived at the Soul Demon Sacred City, he indeed had such a feeling. However, it was not as exaggerated as Myriad Worlds. Almost on the morning of the second day, Wang Feng saw Qing Luo gather several experts from other worlds. It was unknown where she had found them. These three come from worlds that are on good terms with our Azure Sun Fiend region. They came to our Soul Demon Sacred City to purchase some special materials and were invited here. Although the three of them are not demon gods, and their cultivation systems do not belong to the Dark Fiend world, they are extremely powerful. They are stronger than demon masters and second only to demon gods. Qing Luo briefly introduced the three special experts she had brought back. Wang Feng glanced at them and was somewhat surprised. The Azure Sun Fiend region lived up to its reputation. It was no wonder Qing Luo had some confidence facing the three demon gods. Needless to say, these three did not seem weak. This is the martial ancestor from the Grand Heaven Upper Realm, Yun Tianqing. Qing Luo looked up slightly and pointed at a handsome man with white hair that reached his waist. He wore a purple jade crown on his head and was dressed in an ancient martial robe. This man's entire body exuded an extremely cold aura. His eyes were like the burning flames of the sun, giving people an extremely dazzling feeling. He nodded slightly with a calm expression. Martial ancestor? Wang Feng looked at Qing Luo in astonishment. This martial progenitor must have come from a powerful profound illusion plane, right? That's right. The Great Heaven Upper Realm advocates the martial way, cultivates the martial way's sacred marks, and condenses the paragon end intent. Their physical bodies can capture stars, and their fists can truly shatter galaxies. This was the pinnacle of cultivating one's physical strength. Furthermore, one's spiritual cultivation was not weak either. The highest realm was called the Extreme Martial Sage Realm, which was comparable to the Demon God Realm. The martial ancestor is one of those peerless geniuses who are only one step away from the Extreme Martial Sage Realm. I'm just one step away from reaching the peak. However, their combat power is much stronger than our Dark Demon World's demon masters. However, when they cultivate, they usually have to endure extreme hardships, be it physically or mentally. Their numbers cannot be compared to our Dark Demon World. Demon God Qing Luo was extremely knowledgeable. Naturally, she had been to many worlds. Wang Feng did not even need to ask. She had already used a mental voice transmission to explain everything clearly. Wang Fengxin thought to himself, "You're probably sending them to their deaths." This martial ancestor would not last more than 10 moves against a demon god. No matter how good he was at fighting, it was useless if he was not on the same level. Seeing this, Wang Feng was no longer interested in the remaining two. Unless demon god Qing Luo could invite someone on the same level as her. To be on the same level as a demon god, that person would be an ultimate boss in other worlds. It would not be that easy. Well, when the three demon gods come tomorrow, just let me know. Wang Feng waved his hand and said, "I've already made the arrangements." With that, Wang Feng left Heaven Luo Manor and headed for the Soul Demon Sacred City's treasure-gathering crag branch. Wang Feng was still thinking about the exclusive god-slaying set. After this matter was over, he would go to the treasure-gathering crag chamber of commerce's headquarters to obtain the exclusive god-slaying set and refine it. Demon god Qing Luo watched Wang Feng leave without saying a word. Supremacy Qing Luo, this demon god Dai doesn't seem to think highly of us. Could it be that he wants to face the armies of the other three demon gods alone tomorrow? A kind-looking old man with white hair and a ruddy complexion next to Yun Tianqing said with a smile. Speaking of which, I've fought a few times with the demon gods of your Dark Demon World. We've both won and lost. The old man sighed. However, this matter concerns the survival of your sacred city. It's a battle of life and death. This demon god Dai must know that we're not from the dark demon world, so he won't go all out. He was only invited by you to keep up appearances. Therefore, he naturally won't pay too much attention to it. The arrogant words he said a few days ago are still echoing in my ears. The old man's words were extremely humble. He was also considerate of the other party. However, demon god Qing Luo did not smile. Instead, she was extremely serious. Great Emperor, you must be joking. This body of yours is condensed from the bright corpse you severed. Yet, you can still fight against a demon god. Demon god Qing Luo said slowly, it's also because your great emperor body is fine and you're in seclusion. Otherwise, if you really came to the dark demon world, the Yama Lord would have personally received you. Ha ha ha. The old man called Great Emperor laughed a few times. He looked at Yun Tianqing beside him and said, I've been to the great heaven upper realm in the past. I wonder if Di San Air, who entered the Sky Martial Saint realm back then, is doing well? Senior, old ancestor Di Air is the only heavenly martial god who has entered the heavenly martial saint realm in the past 100,000 years. He has already left the great heavenly upper realm. How could juniors like us know about this? Yun Tianqing shook his head and said in a neither servile nor overbearing tone. Oh, that's a pity. The old man stroked his beard slightly. Among the cultivators, I've only seen a few who are as talented as Di San Air. By the way, where did this friend come from? The old man looked at a woman wearing a bamboo hat beside him. The woman was wearing a long silver dress. Her appearance could not be seen, but she was extremely tall. She's called Inu. Demon god Qing Luo introduced. She comes from a special world. She only came to the Soul Demon Sacred City recently. Speaking of which, I wanted to ask for help from the Soul Demon Sacred Cities World Association. Most of the experts from the wormhole Otherworld who came to the Soul Demon Sacred City chose to reject me. I didn't force them. Martial Ancestor Yun and Great Emperor both owed me a favor. You, on the other hand, are the only one who accepted. I'm still weak. I need to temper myself in battle. The woman named Inu said lightly, coincidentally, there's a war in the Soul Demon Sacred City. I need a war like this to reach a higher realm. Aren't you afraid of death? Demon god Qing Luo asked. It's useless to be afraid. End of chapter. Chapter 15-16. When Wang Feng arrived at the Treasure Rock Chamber of Commerce, he unfortunately received a piece of news. Lost contact with headquarters? The reason given by the branch's head demon stunned Wang Feng slightly. Thinking of the three demon shadows, Wang Feng suddenly thought of something. The appearance of the three demon gods in the Soul Demon Sacred City was not just a declaration of war. I'm afraid they also had a great impact on the Godslayer terminal. Wang Feng thought back to the might of the three demonic shadows. If the city wanted to connect to the outside world through the communication machine or communicate mentally through the Godslayer terminal, the Godslayer terminal would need to build a stable energy field in the entire city. Otherwise, the communication machine would not be able to pass through the space of the Dark Demon Realm and transmit information to an extremely distant location. Unless it was a demon god who could use a powerful mental secret spell to project his true body, instead of using various magical machines and the Godslayer to communicate with the demon realm. The three demon shadows descended on the Soul Demon Sacred City in secret to quickly paralyze the information communication in the city. With thunderous means, they attacked the Soul Demon Sacred City and did not allow demon god Qing Luo to send help to the other demon realms. Therefore, even the Treasure Rock Chamber of Commerce could not contact Yu Xiaoxiao and the others at headquarters. These demon gods, each more cunning than the other. Wang Fengxin sneered. However, tomorrow I'll definitely make you suffer a huge setback, Wang Fengxin said. The next day, dark clouds loomed over the city. Almost all the soul demons in the soul demon sacred city spent the night in a daze. Whether it was a soul demon or a soul demon, even if they did not sleep for 8 to 10 days, they would still be in good spirits, let alone one day. But yesterday was different. Many soul demons could not withstand the pressure of the demon god's projection and were still in a daze. And as a sacred city, it was impossible for the soul demon sacred city to not have any defensive measures. However, these defensive measures were useless in front of the 3 demon gods. If it was a demon god, he might not be able to project directly into the sky above the soul demon sacred city. If the 3 of them worked together, they might even be able to project the central demon realm and exert their demonic power. But they did not have the guts. On a 10,000-meter tall mountain 3,000 miles away from the soul demon sacred city, Sky Demon Sovereign and Demon Master Flowerless sat facing each other. Both of them looked into the distance. What trump card do you think this demon god has? Heavenly Devil Venerable held a cup of fragrant purple tea and asked leisurely, "Can you make him say those words yesterday?" No. Flower Demon Master coughed twice and said, "This subordinate didn't expect it. Even someone as wise as you couldn't figure it out?" Heavenly Demon Venerable asked in surprise. It's better if you don't use the word wise to describe your subordinate." No. Flower Demon Master was restless. He looked in the direction of Soul Demon Sacred City, Primordial, 7 Firmament, Desolate Sea. The 3 demon gods have reached an agreement. They will definitely work together this time. They were demon gods, so they must have calculated everything before they struck. Otherwise, our clear sky palace wouldn't have failed to react in time. Fiend Celestial Qing Luo might invite a few external helpers. However, he was still no match for the 3 Fiend Celestials. In the past, the Soul Demon Sacred City had the Heaven Styx River as a barrier, so there weren't many legions stationed inside. After yesterday, she didn't even have the chance to call back the legions that were still in the other wormholes and cities. Other than the Green Radish Demon God, the Soul Demon Sacred City only has 10 Imperial Guards and less than 1,000,000 soldiers. Against the 3 Fiend Celestials, there's no chance. Besides, if you are familiar with the history of the Tenebrous Fiend world, you would know that once 3 or more Fiend Celestials join forces, as long as it's not a war regarding the Tenebrous boundary, it's basically a one-sided situation. Therefore, the 3 Fiend Celestials have probably planned this for a very long time. I even suspect that the disappearance of the Heaven Styx River might have been caused by the 3 of them behind the scenes. Heavenly Demon Venerable nodded slightly. As expected of a soul demon from the same era as the Clear Sky Palace and Yama Lord. Although his strength was limited by his talent, he knew just too much. With the 3 ninth-ringed Fiend Celestials with the exclusive ability to slay gods joining forces, they can already cast the Origin Fiend Void Array. Its range is enough to envelop the Soul Demon Sacred City. In this range, the Fiend Celestial's Origin's laws will be ineffective. This means that Qing Luo has no chance of escaping. She might not even be able to deal any damage to the legions behind them. After all, Fiend Celestials have very strong destructive powers. If Qing Luo were to self-destruct, even if they would be fine, the legions behind them would definitely be screwed. The losses would be great. When Celestial Fiend Supremacy heard this, he was somewhat surprised. I've heard of this Origin Fiend Void Array. However, I've always been curious. Won't the 3 Fiend Celestials be affected by such a spatial technique? What effect can there be? Fiend Lord Flowerless shook his head and said, "The Fiend Celestials are unable to use their Origin's powers, so their combat strength will plummet. They can just rely on their legions to crush them effortlessly." To put it bluntly, the 3 of them are still afraid of any accidents. Therefore, they will definitely use the safest method to win the battle. In fact, they don't even need to enter the battlefield. My guess is that they are still afraid of that DE. Therefore, they directly sealed the Fiend Celestials. After all, their legions are so massive that they can crush the 10 soul demon sacred cities with weak defenses. Celestial Fiend Supremacy frowned slightly. I've interacted with that DE before. Celestial Fiend Supremacy asked without changing his expression. Is he that terrifying? Yesterday, the 3 Fiend Celestials were extremely disdainful of him. In terms of strategy, they will definitely be disdainful. Fiend Lord Flowerless pondered for a moment. The death of Imperial Fiend Celestial is like a demon-slaying sword hanging over the heads of all the Fiend Celestials. Since we entered the era of magical machines, this is the first Fiend Celestial to fall. Furthermore, his demonic body was directly destroyed. As far as I know, the only person who can do this is the Yama Lord. That Chaos Origin Fiend Celestial might know some inside information, but it's because he knows. In fact, he is even more afraid. Therefore, the 3 Fiend Celestials will definitely be more cautious. After getting the information he wanted, Celestial Fiend Supremacy stood up. You intend to help Demon Goddess Qingluo? Seeing this, Fiend Lord Flowerless asked. That's not it, This Supremacy intends to go and take a look at the situation, to see if that demon god DE is dead or alive. Celestial Fiend Supremacy said. That's right, we should go and take a look. Fiend Lord Flowerless suddenly looked towards the horizon. The originally bright sky above the snowy mountains suddenly dimmed. Countless Fiend Celestial ships flew past like a swarm of locusts. Due to their extreme speed, it was as if the sky was covered by a dark golden curtain. Oh, they're already here. Wang Feng slowly let out a breath of fresh air and looked towards the sky. He had already returned to Sky Luo Manor. It was now the 2nd day. In the distant sky, dark clouds rolled. Rows of Fiend Celestial ships covered the entire Soul Demon Sacred City. The various Fiend Celestial ships sitting in the dark clouds, as well as the Soul Demons wearing the standard armor on the ships, looked extremely similar to the heavenly soldiers and generals of the heavenly court if one did not look at their appearance. End of chapter. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.